everyone, and welcome to the next podcast. This time I'm hosting. The king is back, baby. But I'm your host for hopefully not the only time ever, Eric. And joining me we have.
Hello, my name is Isaac. I go by Red. I'm
Alright.
feeling kind of red.
And we also have. Can you fucking say your name already?
Sounds like you're choking on a dick.
Not surprised.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Ray, also known as Meatloaf Man. I'm the Purple Squid on the Inkling podcast. And finally, can we get the last member to shout out his damn name already?
Is Mr. Chokes on Dick? Yeah. Alright, let's move on.
There we go. Let's go into it.
Hey guys, this is Royal Dude Lorenzo. Eric had me tied up.
No, we're not even in the same room.
Well, you're like...
You need to stop this. I swear, if we were popular, like if we had like a decent following, people would start shipping us because of you.
Dude, there would be plenty of porn art by now.
Oh my god. Anyways, I am
blue. It would be on the top and it would be on the bottom though.
Hello. Anyways, I am the blue. I'm the blue link. What's up? So, we're gonna do things a little differently today, so I'm not going to be the host. This week's host is none other than...
the king himself, the host with the most, Eric.
Don't mess with the champ!
Hostess when mostest. Alright, Eric, take it away.
Alright, so, how's everyone doing today?
Sexy.
I'm good, how are you?
How sexy, that's your answer.
Okay. What level of sexy?
Is that like a feeling? It's like, yeah, I'm doing sexy today.
I'm feeling confident
sexy.
in my body.
I work
You
at...
make a Facebook post and you put up what you're feeling. I'm feeling sexy.
Is
there
that
like
a
a
thing on
sex emoji
Facebook
with that?
actually? That you can
No,
do
you
that?
can put your feelings, but like since Eric mentioned it could be a feeling on in period, just as sexy, you could just put up, hey Facebook, I'm feeling sexy.
Yeah.
I didn't know you could do that, although that's because I don't use Twitter. I mean Facebook. That's way wrong. Yeah, I use Twitter, but I don't use Facebook.
Facebook's pretty vapid.
How's all our high school friends on there? Are they still using it a lot? I would imagine, but I'm not sure.
Probably. I mean, I feel like you use it.
I mean, you weren't in high school with me.
No, I'm saying...
So why are you answering?
That was the point. I think he directed the question to me. So
Yeah, I was like, I'm asking Isaac because we went to high school together, and then you start answering.
That wasn't what I was talking about, you fuck.
Alright, fine, you can go after Isaac. But yeah, what were you saying? Isaac.
Rip.
Alright, never mind. I guess his mic died again. Yeah, Lawrence, what were you saying then?
I was saying that usually nowadays, like, I don't go on Facebook anymore to check, like, oh yeah, what's up? I mostly am, like, on my phone Facebook, like mobile Facebook, and, like, I just scroll and I'm like, I barely see people who post statuses anymore. It's mostly, like, a lot of fodder, like commercial fodder. And occasionally I see like a really cool status, like one huge status, but it's like it's not the same anymore. Like back in the day, everybody was just kind of like posting statuses. That's all you saw, and like everybody's like, you're like, yo, just got some new Tims and all that, but like no one ever does that anymore. It's mostly like, oh yeah, here's a picture from Instagram that somebody posted, here's an ad, here's another ad, here's a video, here's another video, here's a cool video, here's another ad, and then oh yeah, here's your friend of yours that you probably don't know saying something.
Here's something not safe for work in public.
Yeah, right, exactly. You just kind of see that very often.
That's the thing
nowadays.
on Facebook?
Yeah.
Oh wow, I've never had that problem with Facebook. I've had that problem with Twitter though. That's why I'm scared to open up Twitter when I'm like on the train or whatever. Cause like I open up and it's like bam titties. It's like oh fuck. Oh.
Yo, imagine someone looks like, oh yo, cool man. Let me get the hand.
What if it's like because a lot of times, because you know it's with Twitter, it's like Twitter's a big thing, so it's like a lot of the time it's anime titties. What if the guy's like, oh wait, I know that one. It's like I know that anime.
I know them titties.
Nani?
Attica?
God. Like, it's funny because I remember back then, I was always scared of, like, getting caught seeing something violent.
Same.
But nowadays, it's not that at all. Like, I could be watching a violent anime on the train, like, on my phone, and I don't care if people are watching. It's like, yeah, it's whatever. It's like some blood or whatever. When it's tits though, it's like, oh god, no.
Oh, no. That's our biggest fear. But Isaac
is dead, I guess.
Oh,
His
rip.
mic fucked up again.
All right.
So he'll
Die.
be joining us when he can,
but
because the show
go ahead.
got to go on. But yeah, well, I guess we could just hop right into one of our topics. Lawrence, do you want to start with this thing that I want to know about because you mentioned it? Mario Kart Tour.
Oh, right. So we're in the news section before we move on to more discussion stuff. So a few things that have been going on in the world of life. Mario Kart Tour 2019 announced a few weeks ago that it's going to be releasing in March 2019. If you're unaware of what that is the Mario Kart mobile game that will be coming out. I will be honest, I'm not really sure how Nintendo's mobile scene is. You know, people were really excited about Super Mario Run and
Well, I mean,
Miitomo.
isn't Fire Emblem Heroes like pretty
Fire Emblem
popular?
Heroes is pretty good, but I'm talking about like the other things, like Animal Crossing,
Yeah,
Pocket
and Animal
Town.
Crossing Pocket
Oh,
Camp
there's
is pretty
Ice.
good, too.
A wild Isaac joins the fray.
Right, but like
I got cut off earlier, but just adding into Lawrence's talking point. Yeah, Animal Crossing Pocket Camp is pretty good too.
Right.
How is
like
it
that,
doing
and
though? Like,
it's
how
pretty
popular
accurate.
is it? Like, is it like getting a lot of
I mean,
downloads?
I
and
don't
stuff?
know, but I downloaded it and I played it myself, and I liked it. And a lot of people who I know enjoy who enjoyed like Fire Emblem Heroes or the other like set of mobile games that they've put out said that Pocket Camp
They've released
is
a
pretty
few
good.
at this point.
They've released a few so far: Super Mario Run, Pocket Camp.
are we counting
Miitomo,
Pokemon Go or
and
no?
now,
I know that they didn't make
I-
it.
I mean, I guess they didn't make that was Niantic, but
Yeah.
I guess you could count it.
So it's like you can see that those clearly like remember when Miitomo was a huge thing and like
Yeah,
everybody had
that's
it,
another
and then
thing
now
that we
it's
should probably talk
shutting
about.
down.
Yeah, they announced like in late January that, and I only the reason we're talking about it now is because I didn't even know until
Yeah.
like yesterday. I was like, what the fuck? And the reason I didn't know is because I forgot Miitomo was a thing. Honestly, I don't
Yeah,
know about
I
you
stopped
guys.
using it.
I
Do I
stopped
even have it on
using
my phone
so
anymore?
quickly. I deleted it like a long time ago.
I probably still have it.
I still
I
have it on my phone.
I don't. I checked once I heard the news.
Yeah, I
like,
don't
a
have it
month late,
anymore.
but-
I still have Mario Run though, and Fire Emblem Warriors.
I don't even have Fire Emblem Warriors on your phone. That's interesting.
You fuck.
You have Warriors on your phone, huh?
Yo,
No, actually, wait. I don't actually have Fire Emblem Warriors
did I
anymore.
play?
What are you
Your
talking about? Warriors is on Switch.
Oh no, I have it. I have it. Oh wait.
He has it.
He has it, yeah.
Yo, he's
There
like
you
that
go
kid.
again with your crazy port stories.
Yo, what else you got on there? Lawrence, you got Crisis 3 on there? Is
Yo,
that
he's
what-
got Halo 2 on there.
Halo DS
Oh dear.
on
It's
your
like
phone.
that, it feels like that kid in middle school who told you, "Oh, Halo 3, I got that on PlayStation."
He just makes shit up. Yeah.
Do you guys ever remember that kid in middle school who made shit up?
Yo,
for
I
the
had
hell of it?
friends
Yeah, no,
that
I
were
know
like that.
exactly what you're talking about. There was
Every
one kid
time
like,
you
yo,
talk
Uncharted
about
2's coming to
video-
Xbox.
You remember that kid?
And all that
Like,
stuff.
or he'd be like, "Oh yeah, the Incredible Hulk movie, I saw it." Even though it never came out. What was it? How many Hulk movies were there? There were like 2, so that you'd be like,
Yeah, there
"I
were
can't wait."
2, because there was one in like 2003, and then there was the one for the MCU.
Just imagine
Yeah.
hype for like a movie that'll never come out, like Incredible Hulk 3, and the kid, the douchebag kid in the cafeteria, is just like, "Oh,
Unless
Hulk
he got
3?
like a
I saw
bootleg
it.
movie that said Incredible
I
Hulk
saw
3.
it.
Yo, I
In
know.
my
how they-
dreams.
I know somebody
Like how
that
they
was
have,
just like
Sonic
that.
Adventure 7.
It was just like that with the Star Wars movie.
What, were they like, yeah, I saw Last Jedi already.
7, 8, and 9, yeah, and they're just like, yo, I know the person that's making Star Wars
My
7.
uncle works at Nintendo.
Yo, that is so. My uncle works at Nintendo.
That's such my uncle.
Oh my god, I had a friend that was just like that. In fact, Ray met him. You remember Gavin?
Ray, when you met him, was he like,
I
yo?
remember this.
Did he shake your hand? He's like, yo, my uncle
Dude,
was at Nintendo and
He's
all that.
yeah, no, dude. He told Ray when we went to hang out. He's like, yo, my uncle, he works at Nintendo, and so he gets me all the new games.
Games.
And he's like, and so like
We
he
met a
told me
real-life
that-
version of
he
this
told
guy.
me that they make in Halo for the Wii.
You should have asked him that. Yeah,
Halo-
that come over and
Halo
play these
Wii.
games you have.
And then
Is
we
this the spiritual successor to Halo DS? Halo Wii?
no, and then no, because the only reason he brought that up was because I was spending a lot of time playing Halo with Ray on the 360, and he was like, "Ah, yo, you want to know something?" So like, my uncle, he works at Nintendo. Oh my god, this kid. Oh my god.
Oh,
my
man.
gosh.
I
think
can't believe
that
you actually
takes-
know someone that's the living embodiment of that meme.
I know way
That
too
kind
many
of person
people that
really
are like
well.
that.
What if it's actually that guy who is on every single Reddit post, Twitter account, etc., who's posting
Saying
like,
that?
yeah, my uncle told me.
And I was like, I also knew someone who was like, yo, so my cousin, he works at Nickelodeon. Like, I knew that
Bring the studio back.
oh my god, just every time
To
that there
bring
was
it
something,
Boneyard back.
there was something on TV, and he wanted to make
Boneyard.
something up. He'd be like, so my cousin, he works at Nickelodeon, right? And yo, he told me about this new SpongeBob's like show that's coming out. It's
They're
all
gonna put
about
Mario in it.
it's all about Patrick. And I'm like, wait, really? As a kid, I'm just
What?
like, wow.
Every other episode is about Patrick.
No, he
sounds
said he was
awful.
saying that there was like a whole new series coming on the way, all about Patrick. He's like, there's a new show
Patrick.
coming, and it's all about Patrick.
That sounds like the Cleveland show of SpongeBob.
Pretty much.
God. The Cleveland show flopped super hard, though.
I mean, I enjoyed
Dude.
some of it. I just didn't understand
forgot-
why we had a talking bear.
Didn't they end up bringing that fucking family back to whatever the hell
They
the
did.
Family Guy
Yes.
family lives at?
Quahog.
Because the show flopped, so they canceled it and just brought him over.
I like how they keep making fun of the fact
Yeah.
that it got canceled. Like in the Simpsons guy crossover,
yeah.
they
made fun of
had
that.
they had Cleveland in that one cutaway where it's supposed to symbolize like Fox's current animation shows. Like they had Homer and Peter flying the same plane, and then they had Bob in the same plane, and Peter's like, well, we gotta carry him, otherwise he's doomed to fail. We tried giving that guy a chance, and look what happened. And then it cuts to Cleveland flying in a plane, and he crashes. And then
name is Cleveland Brown, and I am proud to be.
That was
I
probably
remember
my
the song.
favorite part of
There's
that show. It was the theme song. The theme song was really catchy. There were some episodes I actually liked.
I was not a fan of the Cleveland
I
show.
wa-
I like
I wasn't a
American
fan
Dad, but I don't really like Family Guy or Cleveland show.
there's like
Yeah.
another show that Steph's working on right now. I forgot what it's called, but I saw some episodes
Isn't
of it
that a
on
live
Netflix the
action
other day.
show?
It's like the show
or is it a
that
new
takes
one?
place. It's like the show that takes place in Mexico.
Right.
And
Okay, wow. I was way off.
there's this joke where one of the main characters crashes through the floor, and then you see its bottom, and you hear them say, "Whoa, we were built on top of the Cleveland show."
Oh, wait, so is it an animated show?
Yeah, it's an animated show that Seth works on, but I don't know, I forgot what
Oh.
it's called. But it's like this Mexican family. But yeah.
Better not be racist.
Oh, it is. It is
Okay.
very racist.
Oh my god.
Okay,
Like every
That's
episode.
funny because I could have swore that he started a new show like recently, like a sci-fi show. I forgot what it's called though, but
Oh,
I
that's
remember seeing an
adorable.
ad.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's actually a really good show, honestly. I caught a couple episodes of it, and it's really good. I think I
because the
find it.
critical response it's gotten is like it's awful. Like it's been getting.
I find it honestly better than the new Star Trek show on CBS right now.
Oh my
if I'm
god,
being
what is that?
What?
The new Star Trek show. Are they trying to make like the movie into a show?
The first episode was fine, but it wasn't super monumental compared to like the movies, which like basically revitalized the original series.
Right.
Oh.
But I don't know. I like the because I really like the movie. The movie, the first one. I'm not sure I like the second or the third one. But then there was just that last one is just kind of on the other I guess it's just on the other side of the world. I'm not really a fan of it. Yeah.
Damn, you got like really melancholy with that.
Well, it's because I really wanted the Star Trek series to be good. It looked good, and I'm not a fan. But I mean, and then I guess I like
Kill him.
I also really like there were episodes I liked from the Cleveland show that were actually not bad. I just had lots of questions, like, they were obvious that they were trying to, like...
I have several questions.
They were trying to completely mimic the Family Guy just with, like, Cleveland. And so they had the white guy that was, like, disabled, right?
Brian?
That's not a guy, that's a dog.
It's a dog.
And then they had the talking bear.
Right, that was the thing that was, like, weird to me. It's like, why is there a talking bear?
Wasn't he like a figment of Cleveland's imagination?
What?
What?
The bear.
Coma theory?
Oh,
No,
shut
not
up.
coma.
Shut
Wasn't he just a spirit animal?
No, I don't think so.
I don't know.
I think it was an actual character because he had a wife and kids, I think.
Okay,
What,
well
the
they can
bear?
also be
Imaginary?
figments.
I mean, I don't remember what the Cleveland show was like. I just remember the characters and the catchy theme song, unfortunately.
My name is Cleveland Brown.
And I am
it
proud
wasn't too
to
memorable.
be
Nah, you gotta sing with that, like that.
right
tone.
back in my hometown with my new family.
You have to
It did
sound
get
like
to a
Ray
point where I
Charles.
wasn't even laughing as much at the show. I was just like watching it because it was on.
There's
It was
old
just
friends
a
and
thing that
new
was-
I
friends
think everyone
and
has
even
that
a
kind of
bear.
show where, like, they don't really care for it that much, but they watch it just because it's there. Like, it's
Or their
on, so
friends
it's like,
have
why
them
not?
watch it and they're just watching it like with friends or like just because.
Yeah.
Good times and bad
That was
times
me
is
with,
true
like,
love to share.
Alright, you don't have to sing the whole thing, Jesus. But that was me with some of the cartoons that I didn't like on Nickelodeon and Cartoon Network. Like, I didn't like Rocket Power, but I still saw it like
Yeah,
a decent
same
amount
here.
because it was on. Like, if I was awake and it was on, it's like, fuck it. Like, might as well just have it there. I'm barely paying attention, but I'm seeing it still, even if I don't like it.
I thought Rocket Power was okay. One show I really, I guess, just really didn't like was As Told by Ginger. Probably the most.
I didn't like that
Oh
dry,
my
either.
god.
Boring.
I didn't like
cartoon
that
I've
either.
ever seen. The only
Wait, what'd you
reason I
say?
ever watched it was because like I thought the character designs were like laughable.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the reason why I also didn't like Rocket
That's the
Power.
thing
I
with
didn't like
classic
the
Super
art
in general.
style and stuff.
It was way too like modern and abstract for a kids show. Like, what the hell am I looking at here?
Why were their lips drawn so weirdly? That's the one thing I always notice.
Why do they have like the worst looking just appearances overall? Like in characters, you compare them next to like another abstract show like Rugrats, which honestly it wasn't
Yeah.
that bad. Like,
Yeah, Rugrats still looks fine today.
and this isn't to like, I guess hate on the shows because there were times where I genuinely enjoyed an episode of Rocket Power, but like watching it overall was just like, man, it's like these characters in this show doesn't look that great. And then
Yeah.
As Told by Ginger was just, these characters suck. This show sucks. I don't like it.
I feel like
Yeah,
if anything with Rocket Power and even As Told by Ginger, I don't remember episodes. I remember just the characters. I remember it
In fact, weren't they
happening.
made by the same studio?
Yes.
Rocket Power and As Told by Ginger.
I think
Classic
so, yeah.
Super.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I think with the Wild Thornberries too.
I don't.
Yeah.
I
Although the
feel
Wild
like I
Thornberries,
yeah.
the best thing about Wild Thornberries was the dad.
Oh my
Nigel.
god.
Nigel.
Smashing.
Smashing. I love that he
I
became.
can do it with my hands.
So do you think like if Nigel divorced his wife and he just went on Tinder like just looking for a date, he'd be like, "You look smashing tonight."
That ass. I want to smash.
Good day, darling.
But yeah, it's like I don't think like all their character designs are bad because they also worked on Rugrats and I think even The Simpsons at some point, and like those are
I feel
fine. But
like-
yeah, like
I feel
As
like
Told
the
by
character
Ginger and
designs
Rocket
in
Power, I
Rugrats
was
has-
not a fan of how it looked.
I feel like Rugrats, like the character designs in that, I think they have a right to like look as crazy and cartoony as they do. Because you know how like Stu has like purple spiky hair, and
Mhm.
like Dee Dee just has this completely unrealistic hairstyle. Like I feel
You're
like
going
that
to
fits
levels
with
of
that kind
anime
of world.
hairstyle.
Yeah, it's like anime hairstyle. Yeah, I was about to say.
Yeah.
How
The
how do
references
she
from
keep that
Rugrats?
up?
that.
A lot of hair gel.
Dude,
Yeah, but
ask
she
that to
sleeps
Marge
like
Simpson.
that.
Are you basically saying Stu looks like a Yu-Gi-Oh character at this point?
Yeah,
Yugi's
basically.
dead.
Yo, now that is a theory. That Stu is the original duelist.
No.
Stu Myrtle.
That's like the type of shit you see on like creepypasta or whatever.
Oh my god.
They're connected.
No, the
He
fact
gave
that
up Yugi for adoption and then he married his
the
second
fact
wife
that
and
Rugrats
had Tommy and
Who I
Dill
think can
Pickle.
beat Goku in a battle? Definitely Stu Pickles.
the fact that Rugrats predates Yu-Gi-Oh adds fuel to the theory.
Oh my god. No.
Oh,
Maybe Kazuki Takahashi based Yugi's hairstyle off of Stu's.
Oh
And I
my
draw
god.
my next card in defense mode. Chocolate pudding.
Oh my god.
Stu, that's 144 eggs.
I hate my life.
Okay, so I mean, okay. Back to the original topic.
Oh man, yeah, we
So-
were talking about Mario
What?
Kart.
Yeah,
We were
We're
basically
talking
talking.
about Mario Kart.
We were
God.
All
talking.
right, question for the. We
Oh
should
my
have like a.
god, the Stu
Wait.
Pickles and
I
Nigel
feel like we should
podcast.
have occasional question for the viewers. So, question for the viewers: who do you think would win in a fight,
Oh no.
Stu Pickles or Goku?
Or Goku. Someone photoshopped like Stu kicking Goku in the face. Kind of like that one
old memes
Photoshop
with
with
Shaggy and Fat Albert.
Yeah, or
Where they have,
Goofy or
where
whatever.
they have Ultra Instinct.
All right,
Yeah.
let me change the question. Who is your favorite anime character from Nickelodeon? Mine is Stu Pickles. Oh
All
wait,
right.
my top 3 favorite anime characters on next: Stu Pickles.
No.
I like that he
Arnold's
keeps
grandpa,
increasing it.
Arnold's grandpa with the dick chin,
Oh my god.
The dick chin.
and Tito from Rocket Power.
Oh my god. Tito.
Like the ancient Hawaiian
The
say.
ancient Hawaiian sick. Leave planet Nameco, it will explode in 10 minutes.
Buy hot diggers at Short Shack.
I couldn't even remember that guy's name, and you guys you're just quoting him.
I step on a hot
Yeah,
lava rock,
see?
I can burn my stomach forever.
Same. Oh my god.
Dude,
Anyway.
Oh, man.
Dude, I always joke about how they should do a death battle between Arnold's grandpa and
Tito.
Lou Pickles. And Tito. Who
Who
would
will
Tito
win?
fight?
You know how there was like a Full House tournament fighter? Can we get a Rugrats tournament fighter?
There was a Full House tournament fight, like a fighting game.
Yeah.
Was it who won, Michelle?
What do you mean who won? What?
But it's a
game.
tournament fighter.
Who won?
For what?
How would
What
I
did it
know?
come out on?
Well, is Michelle
I
the
don't
most
know if it
broken
was like
character? Is there a tier list?
like a home console game, but I know there was a Full House tournament fight.
Wait.
Let me see.
Oh,
Deadass.
okay, yeah, I see it. Yeah,
It's
Full
Steve
House
Urkel, a
tournament
guest
fight.
character.
Fictional video game.
Yeah.
Wow. That's kind of cool. I loved Full House, and I still do. Speaking of Full House, something
like
that I
Fight
found out
House.
this week. Did you guys know that Jeff Franklin was fired from Fuller House?
No.
I did not know that.
Oh.
How
Yeah,
would
he-
I know
watch
that? I
it,
don't
though.
follow the show.
So
I
the
don't
show,
watch
so he's the producer of both Full House and Fuller
Oh,
House.
here he goes talking about the show, even though we don't watch it.
I'm just saying.
Look, man, he really needs someone to talk about it with.
Yeah, I'm actually
We're
very.
available.
I'm actually upset because.
I
So
love that
Not a-
Isaac is just like, I didn't even ask for this, and he's telling me about it.
so
It's like,
He
yeah,
wants
yeah,
us
they
to listen.
fired one of the guys. Like, wait, what?
So he's the producer of both shows. Like he's like the mastermind behind the shows. And so what really sucks is that he was fired from both of them. Well, I mean, okay, fine. He was fired from Fuller House. Obviously, Full House is done, so he can't be fired from that one. But he was fired from
I'm
Fuller
firing
House.
you from a show that ended.
And so the show's on Netflix, which means that the fourth season, they said they'll continue without him. But it sucks because maybe this might be the last, Fuller House season. But it didn't seem like it was going to end anytime soon because the show's really good. At least in my opinion. I like the show because it's really, it brings me back to the days of, when I used to watch Full House all the time. And I still do, but, not, with oomph, But, so he was fired because of inappropriate behavior, but not sexual harassment, to be clear. Just because he would just say and do, I guess, inappropriate things on set and during meetings and stuff like that, and they were just like, yeah, you're gone.
Damn.
So, Yeah,
Honestly,
I know.
like, you could enjoy it as much as you want, but my favorite thing about that was just Isaac's reactions. Like, we didn't even ask for this. Talking to us about it.
Yeah. But yeah, so anyways, back to the original point. Mario Kart
Yeah.
Tour is coming out in March 2019. We'll have more information as the time goes on. I'm excited to play it. But just like
It
every
sounds-
single other
I don't know
mobile
how
game,
they make Mario Kart on mobile work, but it could probably work.
Yeah.
We'll
But
see.
like I said, I'm,
It's
you know,
Nintendo.
yeah.
What are all the Nintendo apps that have come out? There's Miitomo, there's Pokemon Go if you want to count it. There's Super Mario Run, Fire Emblem Heroes.
There's a parental
Pocket Camp.
controls app.
Oh yeah,
that
that's
doesn't count. What?
technically true.
I'm talking
The
about
parental
like
control app for the Switch.
He's talking about games.
yeah.
The thing that Bowser was using in the.
Lawrence would be that
the
guy. He's
Request
like, yeah, I'm
Domain.
playing system settings on my 3DS.
Yo, imagine looking at 3DS and the system settings says its most played app.
Yo,
Yeah.
Lawrence,
My
open up your
favorite game.
3DS right now.
No, but deadass, there's also the
So this is
Nintendo
screen
Switch
cap.
Online. There, that.
All right, but
supposed-
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about like games.
No, but this
There's
one you
about
can
only
do
4
things
so
on
far.
it.
You
I'd
can
say
play
4 or
games
5.
with that. Okay. What game is it called? Clicking yes or no?
No. The Nintendo Switch app, you can like actually like talk to people.
It lets you create and join lobbies online and do voice chat. So
Yeah.
there's
See,
It
that
works
should not be
hand
an
to
app.
hand.
That should just be in the game, in the system. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it should. They definitely should have like a more intuitive online system, sort of like Xbox Live and PlayStation Plus. But I think the app does a job because I've used it before for Splatoon 2, and it works. It's not exactly the most like.
It's not
intuitive
ideal.
thing. It's not what?
It's not ideal.
No.
Basically.
It's not.
I don't
yeah,
know why
but
companies have to be
I'm
so
hoping
reliant
that-
on apps nowadays for
I'm
these
hoping
online
that, so like
services.
when they roll out the actual full Nintendo Switch network, like the whole online experience, when it rolls out in I think it's supposed to roll out fall 2019. That will
I thought
like
it got
hopefully
delayed
be.
though.
It did. It was supposed to roll out this fall, like of 2017, but sorry, not 2019. It's supposed to roll out next fall. But yeah, I'm hoping that once they roll out the whole system, that they'll have like an actual party chat that you can do from the console and not through the app. It works, but I'd like it to be something more like how most.
Yeah, I
consoles do.
don't want to have to use an app for that, since it's
I
so
don't
much
either.
easier on everything
there's-
else.
But to what you were talking about before, there's only about 4 or 5 like app like games you can play on mobile from Nintendo. Which
Yeah, I'm just
so far
wondering
they've
because,
made-
you know,
they've made a killing through Pokemon Go.
yeah.
Because obviously they get
least
some
for a while.
royalties
Dude,
and stuff.
Their stock went up on, when the app came out.
Well, their stock went up
yeah, it
even
shot
when the
up like
Switch
that,
came up.
That Niantic was really the people responsible for the app, but
Isn't
at the same
Niantic
time-
supposed to make a
the
Harry
monument.
Potter Go at some point? Isn't that
Yeah.
a thing they talked about? I
Yeah,
wonder if
I
that'll
think
blow
so.
up.
they're
Wait, a
still
what?
working on it. I
A
think
Harry Potter Go.
I saw a trailer earlier today. I think it might have been it.
How would
but-
that work?
I don't know.
You're
Like, what
walking
are you
around a
doing?
virtual-
There?
virtual-
I
Yeah,
don't
what
know,
are you,
man,
collect
they
what are you
spells?
doing
Like,
in the
what do
Harry
you-
Potter Go?
Do you
So-
collect
Well,
spells?
dude, if they made Garfield Go a thing, I'm pretty sure Harry
What?
Potter's got this.
Oh yeah, okay. So there was actually a trailer released today about the mobile game. But essentially, what you do is that you find like your classmates and stuff like that. You get to do like spell battling with like classmates and stuff like that. Classmates, I think, being other players. I'm gonna send it to our private chat to the viewers, but you can just search up Harry Potter mobile game on Google and you'll find it. But so you get to choose like your wizard essentially, and you get to be whoever you want to be, and you can play spells and stuff like that. So I'm gonna guess that like you get something like a stamina,
It's
and you
not
have to pay.
Leviosa. It's Leviosa.
You have to pay for like stamina. I'm gonna guess, and then you
Yo,
can
so
use that
go ahead.
on like
I have
AR.
fallen-
AR.
so if you say expecto patronum, does your phone's flashlight turn on?
That'd be kind of cool, actually.
That would
Alexa, expecto patronum. Yes.
What if Alexa was just like, lol, faggot? And then
Lol.
she just doesn't do anything?
be nerd.
Lord of the Rings is the true master fictional world.
Searching now for girlfriends on
master.
Tinder.
Lord of the Rings is a better fictional world, though, I agree.
I like
But,
Lord of the Rings better, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a time that I liked Harry Potter when I was when it was really popular, but I sort of fallen out of it, especially since I didn't go see Fantastic Beasts.
Honestly, I'm kind of the same. I like Harry Potter, but like J.K. Rowling is just like making me like it less and less to the point I just like don't even mention it. It's just like whatever. That's in the past now.
Oh, are you just sort of like talking about her public life, or just like her attempting to have a public life?
Just a lot of things about her, really. Like it's gotten to a point where I'm expecting like for her on her deathbed to be like, the basilisk was trans, and then she just dies.
Bruh.
Like you're just trying to change like a bunch of shit at this point.
The actual hero
Oh,
is not Harry.
I'm lost. Then, are you talking about like what she's been doing with like Harry Potter, or just in
Like
general?
just with like
what she's been
with
doing?
Harry Potter.
Yeah, did you guys?
Oh,
You guys
okay.
know about the cursed child?
I thought you were talking about her Twitter page, where she just
Oh well, like
anytime
that's part
she
of it
doesn't
though.
really.
Like she talks about it
Oh.
on there too. Which
But
is
I'm
why.
talking, you guys saw the cursed child, right? Well, I mean, you saw it came
What do you
out.
mean saw it?
Well, it's a Broadway
mean the
show.
book?
It obviously didn't come out here. What I'm saying is that it exists.
I heard the book was awful though.
Cursed Child, yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
But the book is the script. It's just a script that they use on the actual show that is currently playing in London. And apparently lots of people like it, but
Wow, that is the opposite of what I heard. I've heard people hate it. Maybe it works better as a stage show, but I heard people hate the book at the very least.
yeah, the book. Well, probably because usually, like, what the hell was that?
It sounded like a whistle.
But yeah, so that's the way that the Harry Potter mobile game.
It's
works.
Voldemort.
So I'm
You
not
must
sure.
not be named.
Yeah. Anyways.
Yeah. I just wanted to bring up the whole,
Yeah.
all the
So
Nintendo mobile stuff because,
Yeah.
like we also mentioned earlier, Miitomo, which was their first one, I think, or
Yeah.
one of the first ones, it's getting shut down soon.
it's Super Mario Run and then Miitomo, or I don't know.
No, Super Mario Run came after Miitomo for sure.
Okay.
It
so
came out
then-
after Fire Emblem Heroes for sure too.
Yeah, of course. Fire Emblem
yeah,
Heroes
like,
is like the latest behind, like after.
I think Fire Emblem Heroes is probably the
Pocket
most
Camp.
popular, which makes
Okay.
sense because it's like a MOBA, like a gotcha game,
Yeah.
like Grand Blue and Grand Order and all that. So that one's definitely got to be the most popular.
That is.
Because,
Yeah,
you know,
I agree
The,
with that.
the whole collect aspects, like we gotta have my waifus, my husbandos, and all that.
Yeah, I don't play it as often anymore. I used to
I don't
play
play
it
it
a
at
lot the first time, and I actually spent, I think, maybe like $5-10 trying to get Korin, like a good Korin, not a 3-star Korin.
Well,
that
didn't
you
they
get
give one for free?
Yeah, but it
Yeah.
was 3-star Korin. You want a 5-star.
Oh, you want that
Korin.
5-star shit?
Yeah, I never got it, but so I just
doesn't?
played with the 3-star Korin that they gave me.
Ray, Isaac, did you guys play any of Heroes?
Yeah, I played a ton of it right after
Fire
it was
Emblem
released,
Heroes?
and
Yeah.
I still have it. I haven't
game
played
is it?
in a little bit, but wait. Sorry, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Hello? Oh,
Yeah.
I just said, yeah, I did play a bit of it, and just like Lawrence said, I was really into just rolling really high stakes, like putting all of my orbs up for 5 stars for like any character. I really wanted a 5-star Lucina. I remember.
Yeah.
and
Did
I
you
kept
get her?
going for one. I haven't even gotten a single 5-star in the game yet.
I kind of
What?
maybe one
Damn,
or
that's
two.
crazy to me because I don't play these gotcha games, but I know like a decent amount about them, and I hear that Fire Emblem Heroes is like probably one of the most generous gotcha games out there, like in terms of like pulling what you want, like
I
way
have
more than
pulled,
like with Grand Order.
I pulled
and
pretty
stuff.
good characters. I pulled a 4-star.
You just haven't
character
pulled the
before.
stuff that you wanted, then.
I have
Yeah.
gotten characters I've wanted. Like I got a Camilla and I got a Tarja one time, which I was really hoping for both of those characters, and I got them. But when it comes to a 5-star, like the rate, the pull-in rate, or lotto rate is just like really low for those
Yeah.
characters. So I'm not sure if gotcha games are going to just let anyone roll a 5-star like on their first try, because then they wouldn't
You
make
gotta
money.
be super
But
fucking lucky. That's why
Yeah.
people make
You
these
do.
things called catalysts, where it's kind of funny when I see them on Twitter. Like, let's say for example, like with Fire Emblem, it's like, oh, Lucina's gonna be on Raid Up today. What they would do is like they take all their figures and like art and stuff, all their merch of that character, and surround it around their phone to like try
Yeah.
and boost the rate.
So they
I thought that
basically
was
make a
pretty
Satan
funny.
circle.
Yeah, basically.
Summoning.
It's like they're trying to summon it is like to improve the rating. It's just a myth. Obviously, it doesn't like do it, but people just do it for the hell of it. Or like with
That's
Fate,
weird.
where they'll just surround, like if Arturia is on raid up, they'll surround their phone
Maybe
with like
my amiibo will
Arturia
give them.
figures and all that.
Nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, Raid, did you play any of it?
I have regretfully not yet.
I just wanted to ask because I just can't get into like mobile games in general. Like I can't spend more than like
Yeah.
10 minutes on a game. I think that's the issue with me.
Question.
Like I'd rather
Yeah.
be playing basically anything else. Like
Is
on
Rinka in
handheld
this game?
or
I'm not
console
really-
or PC. What?
Is Rinka in this
That I
game?
don't-
Yeah. I think.
Nice.
I'll
Right.
look that up actually. I'm not sure.
That
Yeah.
and I'm not really into like the whole pay-to-play aspect of
Well,
these
you
games.
don't have to pay. Like
You
you
ju-
can go
Well, yeah,
completely
but,
free to
like,
play.
He's
kind of upset that Rinka's not in it.
Shut the fuck up about Rinka already.
I'd play more mobile games if they just had a different type of formula, because the instant gratification, thing.
Oh wow,
going
yeah, she's not
on
in
mobile games.
Heroes, I guess.
What's that?
Sorry, but no, I'm just checking to see if Rinka was actually in Heroes, and she's not.
Every Fire Emblem character, huh?
They're still missing a huge chunk of the cast of the total Fire Emblem cast, but like I was saying, I'd play more mobile games if it just didn't feel like it was like a quick, short little session. If it felt more like a game to me, like like
Is
a
there an
fuller
actual story?
experience.
There are some like full games.
Yeah, there's
that
the story
end up,
to
like-
Heroes. They have their own original characters, but the problem with mobile games for me is just like Eric said, I just can't really get drawn into playing them that long, just because
Yeah.
like it doesn't
Yeah,
feel like a full
Like after
experience.
10 minutes, I'm just like, all right, I don't want to play. I just close it.
It's the same
I
thing
Yeah,
with
no,
And with
it's
games
Fire
like
Emblem
that,
Heroes.
I don't know if it really works. Like I don't know if you could play Heroes or Grand Blue or like Grand Order like that, just like 10-minute bursts. 'Cause
Yeah.
the people I know that play it for like basically like a real game. Like they sink a ton of time into it.
Yeah, and honestly,
Yeah.
at the same time, that's kind of why we have 3DSs, because
Yeah,
You know,
like I'd
usually
rather
when-
if
when-
I'm gonna
when
play
I'm
something on
using my
handheld, I'll
phone-
play it on Vita or 3DS.
I also think that
when I'm using my
Yeah.
phone, I'm trying to conserve battery or use it for something
Yeah.
else.
Yeah, that's
in
another
general.
thing. Those games kill your battery.
kill their battery and they kill data.
battery.
Like if you are a person that does not have an unlimited data plan, so like unlimited,
Or like a-
data
well,
plans.
Well, that's why you want to play with a Wi-Fi connection.
Right, of course. But I'm saying like if you are playing on the go, like that's
Yeah,
not
yeah.
realistic. Because
I remember one.
I mean, yeah.
I just got a story of one time I opened up Fire Emblem Heroes in class, and like the opening screen just Fire Emblem Heroes. Just no class. Oh shit! Close
I
my
remember we did
So
a previous
loud
episode of this
starting screen.
podcast.
Yeah,
and
it really
I heard
is
the
loud.
title screen come up.
Didn't I pull it up just for the hell
You
of it?
did.
Like when we were
You
going.
did during the podcast. We heard it loud. and clear.
Yeah. I was like, fuck.
Oh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's so loud. For like the 2 minutes I played of Grand Order, like they don't shout anything, but there's like loud music. It's like do 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 do. And I'm like, fuck. I
Imagine
need
like
to lower-
the Final Fantasy VII battle theme just blazing loud.
God.
Yeah.
In the middle of your like Calc 2 class or something.
I'm not, the thing, like, I would get back into it, and I probably, now that after we've had this conversation, will go back and try and play more of Fire Emblem Heroes.
You gotta get your waifu, man. Come on.
I do, but I don't know if I'll be spending any money on
I
it.
do.
But yeah,
That's
no,
why a lot of people play it, man. I'm like, honestly, and it's a legit way. It's like if you really like a character and you
Dude,
want to like
especially with Grand
level them
Order,
up
yeah.
and all that, like
Yeah.
yeah.
Dude,
I enjoy it
there
for
was
the
this
art,
game.
to be
I don't know if this is Grand Order or if it's a different game, but there's this guy who paid like over $1 million to unlock his waifu.
oh right, Eric told us.
That might be Grand Order. That probably is Grand Order.
Yeah. I
The
swear, I
whole-
remember watching a video talking about it once.
Damn, when you know the game simply from like the stories of how people play it.
Dude, like that's the one game I am
And
willing
the,
to like.
the artwork looks legitimately good too. It's a pay
Oh, yeah.
to play thing.
Because with these gacha games, what they do is they hire like a lot of artists, which is why the art styles can differ between character to character. Because like in Fire Emblem, like I know for a fact that like the Etrian Odyssey artist is in there as well as the artist from Codename Steam and a bunch of other, which is why the characters look so different. And like
Yeah.
in Grand Order, there's there's some servants that are drawn by the Danganronpa artist, and you could easily tell. Like, literally, one of the characters looks like edgy Nagito from Danganronpa 2, for anyone who's
Kind of
played
like
it.
how you can tell when Toriyama worked on something just by that
Yeah,
style.
like, you can just tell that it's like, that's a different artist. Which is pretty cool, admittedly, that they have all these, like, varying things.
Yeah. So I like Fire Emblem Heroes. I like the game a lot. I just couldn't.
You like what? You got cut out there.
I liked it a lot. My problem with it is that realistically, unless we had unlimited data plans, all of us, like unlimited 4G LTE and like Wi-Fi everywhere.
I don't think I do.
Yeah, I don't. So what I have is I have a 6 GB plan that I share with my family, and then after that it's 2G unlimited. So it's unlimited plan, but 2G is you can just like send out an email or a text, right? And
what is a 2G in 2018, honestly?
Yeah,
2G
that's like so
nothing
ancient at this point.
At this point, yeah, because it's like, yeah, I can send a text, like, if I'm on Snapchat or Messenger, I can totally text you guys. But, like, the other day, Eric was sending me a picture...
Look, I loaded a webpage.
Of a Doki Doki Literature Club girl, and it didn't load, and I was just like, alright,
Oh,
man,
right,
you're gonna have to
yeah.
wait until I go home.
I sent Lawrence a picture of his kinks. Of a Doki Doki girl.
Yeah, and so...
And it didn't load for him because he was out.
Because I'm
So I
out
was
of
like,
data, so the plan actually restarted again today, so I'm back on 4G. But, that's, I guess, one of the kinks to, like, a mobile game, that it's not really, like, feasible for me to, like, go ahead and play it if I don't have access to it everywhere and whenever I want to. So, and... yeah, and I guess that's also probably going to happen with Mario Kart Tour. I'll probably play it, and it's going to be fun, but...
yeah, like, I have nothing against those games, and I'm not saying they're bad at all. I think everything that I've seen of it was like, yeah, they look really well made and really good. Problem is me,
At
honestly.
least there's a game.
Like, the problem is me. It's like, it's not you, it's me. Like, I just can't play a mobile game for, like, that long. I just turn it off at some point. It's not really the game's fault. It's just kind of how I am.
Yeah.
But yeah, there you go. Damn, it's been a while on that.
So Mario Kart.
Yeah, but what other bit of news do you want? Ray, do you want to talk about your BlazBlue thing?
Right.
Oh yeah.
Because you've been keeping up with that.
Yeah, because it was actually news. I brought it up in the chat that we have here during the last podcast, but we didn't get to discuss it because we already had enough topics for that episode as is. But this is like, I think, news that is like 3 weeks old at this point. But let me just pull that up real quick.
Well, it's new to us, so
This is regarding the BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle DLC controversy. I'm pretty sure we all remember.
Yeah, I think we might have mentioned it. I know we've talked about it, like, in our group chat, but I don't know if we've mentioned it in the podcast.
And yeah. All right, let me just pull it up real quick.
Damn! So right now I'm playing Fire Emblem Heroes while we're talking.
This motherfucker's gonna play it while we're doing the podcast.
No, I just wanted to check it out. Oh my god, guys, they gave 95 orbs. I have not been around for this game, and they gave me 95 orbs.
Well, yeah, that's what happens when you're not logging in.
You probably still won't pull any 5 stars.
Yo,
thanks for coming back,
It's gonna be lit. Because now I'm going to, like, start trying to summon my fucking waifu.
What do they have to emphasize that? My fucking
waifu.
When you don't pull in any and you spent $20, call us back.
Yo,
so you can try to that you can try to summon one of our waifus. If you summon Lucina, let me know.
Yo, I got a 5-star Roy.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Wow. Look at this guy.
Just now?
Yeah.
Hey.
Wow. Damn.
Anyways,
right.
go ahead, Ray.
Alright, but
we were waiting so long for Ray's news.
BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle is getting a full English dub, thankfully, now that we know that.
Is it using the Ruby, like, English voice actors, like Barbara and Lindsay and all that from Rooster Teeth?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
I do have to wonder, in the Japanese version, are they going to use the Japanese actresses? Because there is an official dub for it.
Yeah, I would imagine they'd have to, right?
That would be pretty cool.
I have not heard the Japanese dub for Ruby, but I imagine it's pretty good.
Probably is, especially if it's still going right now. So, and if it was good enough to earn itself a manga.
That's so weird to me that there's an English anime that had to get a Japanese dub. Like, you never hear that.
Yeah. But we don't have a confirmation yet on whether or not the old Blaze Blue cast is returning, or for that matter, any of the other games cast members. But it's still pretty good news. And we got some pricing info on the game as well. For the base game, it's $50, $5 per individual DLC pack. I heard the Ruby characters for like Yang and Weiss, Weiss and Blake and Yang, they've been confirmed and they're all free as well.
Okay.
And,
so there's some free DLC and some you have to pay for?
Yeah.
Okay.
$20 for an all DLC character pass and a $70 deluxe digital edition with base game and the DLC pass. So that's pretty good news, all things considered.
I mean, if the game's $50,
Yeah.
then your
That
base
deluxe pass must be amazing.
you better get a figure of like someone with that.
Yeah, Ray.
Better get a real life.
Speaking
anime
of
statue or something.
buying figures, so Ray,
What?
it's that time of day.
What?
Did you get Cuphead yet?
What does that have to do with buying figures?
No, see, this guy will just find.
Is Ray
any
buying a
kind
Cuphead
of
figure?
That
trans-
is
What's
the
going on
worst
here?
segue
What's
I've
going
ever
on?
seen. You're fired. Get out of here. It's
Bro.
my show.
Speaking of buying figures,
Have you bought Cuphead? It's like, what the hell kind of segue was
I
that?
thought you were asking Ray if he bought a Cuphead figure, which worries
Yeah.
me. That worries me
Speaking
now.
of Halo DS. Speaking of dildos.
We went from
Speaking of
asking Ray
orange
if he was
juice.
gonna get
Have
Cuphead
you
the
bought
video
Cuphead
game
yet?
to asking Ray if he got Cuphead a figure.
No, but dead ass, did you?
I guess the silence is probably a no.
We'll check back in with you next week.
Have you,
You
at
know-
least been looking at prices, Ray?
I mean, it's only like 15 to $20, right? The game? Lawrence, you bought it. How much was it?
I got
Yeah,
it on
you bought it.
sale. for
Yeah,
$12.
Lawrence, do you have Cuphead?
I do. You jerk.
Bring
Oh,
it
the
back to
table-
him.
I
What
do.
they actually...
Tables and turn.
Yeah, so how much was it, bitch?
I got it on sale for $12.
Okay, but how much was it, like, regularly?
How much is
It
the
says.
price?
Oh, it's $20 regularly.
Okay. Yeah, that's not bad. You can get it now, Ray, since you have a job. Like, you can buy
I
it.
don't
Like,
have a debit card
You
yet.
could, yeah.
oh, you should probably get on that then.
I tried opening my account, but freaking Chase banks were like all packed up this weekend.
Mm.
Get Cuphead, Papa. It's very good.
Why did it? I'm sorry, this is off topic. Why did Chase banks close at 2 p.m.?
I don't know.
I
I
don't
don't
know.
work for Chase.
That's so stupid.
So they can go home and play Cuphead.
Yo, it's
You should
lit.
get, Ray.
I got a
Which you-
4-star
Yeah.
Roy. Again.
You need to fucking close that game.
No one
Focus on the
gives a
show.
fuck, Lawrence.
Okay.
Jeez. You don't see me like
Okay.
popping open my DS and playing Xenoblade or something.
That's the most
Yeah.
exciting
Yo, I
thing
just
that
leveled
happened
up.
today. But did you know I
Guys,
got
we're
a
not
5-star Roy?
hypocrite.
Lawrence, you know what it is? Lawrence is becoming Caesar. He's gonna become the Caesar of this podcast.
Bro.
But instead of eating and like watching streams and playing Smash, he's gonna be fucking trying to get his waifu in Fire Emblem Heroes.
you know, Caesar's gonna watch this podcast.
Caesar. I'm just saying. But I-
Oh my gosh.
Well, damn.
But yeah.
Yeah.
But you know, speaking of the whole BlazBlue thing, it's 4 series that's crossing over, if I remember. And
Yeah.
it's Persona, BlazBlue, Ruby, and I can never for the life of me remember what the 4th one was. I've never even heard of the
Something
4th
under
one.
night?
Something like that. I'm like, what is
Yeah.
that? Is that actually like popular and I'm just living under a rock? Because I've never seen it. I've heard of Melty
that's
Blood
cool.
before I heard of that. Fucking Melty
What's the
Blood.
game called?
Under night in birth.
I've never heard of it until that game got
I've
announced.
never heard
the
of that.
BlazBlue game.
Is that an arena fighter?
Is that a
It
fighting
is
game?
a visual novel and 2D fighting game developed by Ecole Software and French Bread, known for the Melty Blood series.
Oh!
Oh,
shit.
cool.
I love that I mentioned Melty Blood just as a joke, and it actually turns out it's the same dev.
You know, I
Now I
Maybe you
want to
did
play
say
it.
the
Now-
other day my professor got this candy for us.
I thought you were about to say that your professor got Melty Blood.
And it was called it's funny, you know what it was called?
Melty Blood?
Yes.
Blood? Was it really?
Yes, it's a strawberry chocolate candy.
Did you like...
That unironically sounds good.
It actually does taste good, but yeah.
Did you like peek your head up, it's like Melty Blood. What?
Yeah, no,
You
deadass,
remember me
I
talking
did because
about
I
it?
was like, whoa.
Is it full of anime characters?
No, deadass, I thought I was
It
like,
tastes like
whoa, wait,
bark
what?
and seal.
I
It
was like,
tastes
wait.
like anime.
Because when she said, "Do you guys want a
delicious.
Melty Blood?" and I'm like, "Wait, what the fuck? What do you mean? Do I want a Melty Blood? Like, what are you
Bruh.
talking about?"
He directs it directly to Lawrence. It's like, yeah, I
That
heard your
leads to such an
podcast.
awkward just pause in your class. You double take. Professor, what?
Professor, what? You talking about anime titties? Yo.
Wow.
Class, here's today's lesson. Anime titties.
Who the hell is the teacher there? Is that Nigel?
What is Nigel Thornberry doing teaching a class on anime titties?
Are you guys? Oh, so on that note, are you guys excited
That
for
divorce
BlazBlue?
hit
I'm
him really
kind of
hard.
excited.
Excited
little
about
bit.
what? Anime titties?
No,
I am.
BlazBlue.
I
Not
was, like,
Laszlo.
Laszlo? Yeah, I'm excited for the return of
Laszlo.
Camp Laszlo. But
Camp Waffle DLC.
I was turned off at first when I heard about the DLC, but I'm still willing to give the game a shot because it looks like it'll probably be fun.
I think they heard
Dragon
I
Ball
think they
FighterZ
heard the
turned out
backlash
well.
and they chilled out. Yeah, and that too.
So like, and you know it's Arxis. Like, DLC practices aside, just looking at the gameplay itself, they're top dog when it comes to anime.
You know it's
fighters.
gonna be a good game. Yeah.
So you
they
know
don't-
it's gonna be
they
like
do not
really,
fuck
really
around.
good.
Yeah.
Like
So-
they're probably the best fighting game studio period at this point. Because I mean, look at the
Yeah.
stuff Capcom has brought out.
Dude, what the hell has been going on with
Infinite?
Capcom recently with Street
Yeah.
Fighter and Marvel vs. Capcom?
Oh, yo, did you
like-
hear the news about Marvel not being at
At
Evo
Evo?
this year?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they got knocked.
That's
their-
crazy.
Marvel got removed from the Evo, or they didn't get removed, but Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite won't be at Evo this year. That's
Didn't they
insane.
request
all
it
the
for it not to be
First
there?
all the
time
memes.
ever that Marvel won't be at Evo.
Dude, all the memes of like BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle and Dragon Ball Fighter Z stomping on Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite.
Because it's basically that. Sit,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
it's taken their place. It's Dragon Ball
I feel
Fighter
so
Z,
bad too because
BlazBlue, or BlazBlue, and Melee.
I feel so bad too because Marvel vs. Capcom as a franchise set the standards for what fighting games should like pretty
I
much
mean, it was one of the
be.
biggest fighting game franchises ever. I still
And
remember
it's-
when Infinite was announced,
in
and there was
its
so
prime,
much
yeah.
hype for it.
Yeah.
Dude, the trailer
Yeah,
looks
Marvel
better than the
always
game
does
itself.
Gets hyped.
That's gotta suck. It's like Dead
It's so
Island all
weird,
over
dude,
again.
They're not gonna be at
Oh,
Evo.
no.
It's so weird.
Do you guys remember Dead Island? That fucking game that had that amazing. And then the fucking game comes out, and it's nothing like the trailer. At all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you guys remember Watch Dogs at E3 and it comes out and it's
And it
not
looks
that
nothing-
great?
Did
It
you?
was actually awesome, wasn't it? Wasn't it an awesome game?
Man, I fucking 100% of that game on PS4. But
Did
do you
really?
remember? I did, yeah.
Oh my god.
Cause I got it when it was on sale, and that game's not hard, so it's like, yeah, why not?
Yeah.
So I just like 100%ed it. I'm still missing one trophy from it though. Actually, it's a bullshit
Yeah.
one. We could talk about bullshit trophies and stuff later, but
Yeah.
I wanted to mention because you mentioned Watch Dogs. Do you remember when people like dug into that game's code and found that like the E3 graphics were actually in the game, but Ubisoft just decided not to use it? Like they turned it off.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm not even joking.
That's what I'm talking about.
Oh,
At
no.
E3, they used the hype. They used basically souped up graphics and left the
Well, people-
original game, the real game's graphics, in a separate folder that people found.
Were
Yeah.
They
people
found a
able
folder
to
that was
store like
titled E3
HD graphics to the whole game?
2013.
There's a mod that came like afterwards, like after the game came out, after people found that code, and the mod basically re-enables like all the E3 graphics to make the game look better and everything. Obviously, that's only for PC because you can't really mod the PS4 and Xbox One version or the Wii U
Unless
version.
you're like homebrew. Yeah.
But yeah, that was a whole thing. That really that just Ubisoft
Why
just
did they?
shit the
why did
bed
they
at
do
that
that?
point. I don't know. That was just a weird thing.
It was just a
Yeah.
shitty move.
Yeah, but fuck Ubisoft for that.
Fuck
And-
Ubisoft.
And speaking of fucking, going on with Lawrence's segue skills, the
Ooh.
Sonic movie in 2019.
Oh yeah.
So
Sonic's coming out in 2019. There's a movie coming out, and
In
they're trying to save Sonic. Literally, that is one of the things that I saw on like Twitter. I think somebody like a representative said that they're trying.
Is that
to
what
save
the
Sonic.
animation studio said? Like they're trying to save Sonic?
Somebody who's involved either with the movie or with Sonic
We're trying
said
to
that.
save Sonic.
Because I'm gonna say that, you know, I will be honest. Sonic, Sonic? I don't even remember the name of that game. Sonic Forces. You know, it just didn't.
You played it.
Because I
You
played
did.
it in a
We
day.
spent an entire Black Friday looking for the game.
I spent one day playing that
I
damn
still
game.
love that. I mean, I know that Sonic games are pretty short, but it's just funny to me that Lawrence messaged us like, "All right, I'm gonna start playing." Then like a couple hours
In
later,
a few
I
hours.
finished.
I think it's
I'm
like
done.
5 hours. You said right that you spent.
Yeah,
in the
he
game.
literally messaged us like, "All right, I'm starting," and then like 5 hours later, "All right, I'm done." He just played it in one seating, in
Man,
one sitting.
I was watching the E3 trailer for that game literally the
That's
other
really
day,
bad.
and it started out with "From the creators of Sonic Colors and Sonic Generations." I'm
No.
like, there's a reason that they had to start off with the best.
I know
game
they had to
in
start with the
modern
best
series.
like recent games that aren't Sonic
That's
Mania.
how you reel them in.
Yeah.
God, that's so depressing. I mean, because like
That's
get
a
that
shame, honestly.
Sonic games are relatively short, like a lot of them are, but the thing is they have a lot of replay value.
Yeah.
Forces, from everything like Lawrence and everyone else has played has said, does not, because the levels just aren't really all that good to begin with, that you don't even want to replay them. So
Yeah.
I
yeah,
really hope they learned from Mania.
I just hope they fucking hire those guys. Sonic Mania
hope
2,
so,
3, just
They
keep
should
going.
take over Sonic Team at this point.
Yeah.
Take over Sega.
It's sad that when the fan game ends up being like more beloved than the main game, the one
is
made by
really
Sonic Team.
Dude.
God. Man, but you know, speaking of that, I still really want to play Sonic Mania. The only reason I haven't bought it yet is
Dude,
because I
same.
want it on Switch. Like I'm dead set on getting it on Switch.
Yeah, as soon as I get a Switch, that's gonna be like one of the first
That's
games
gonna
I
be one of
buy.
my first
I-
games, along with like
I really think Sonic
Mario
Mania is a
and
game to
stuff.
play on the go. Yeah.
You should definitely get Splatoon 2. That's a
oh
good
yeah,
game
I
to get as
definitely
well.
want to get that too.
I remember when Isaac brought his Switch over that one hangout.
Oh, yeah.
We were in a McDonald's and he had Sonic Mania on, and it just looked so crisp and clean on that 720p screen. I was like, wow, like that's amazing.
Yeah, it's fun. I've had a lot of fun just playing through the game on co-op mode as well, because there's a co-op mode there, and
Yeah.
it's just fun sitting there using the Switch screen itself. It's awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I'm excited for the Sonic movie, and they just have to do it right. The problem with most games...
The problem is it's a video game movie.
Yeah, that's the problem.
I am just hoping the movie doesn't be like Forces or 06, where it takes itself seriously and there's very minimal
They bring
fun
back
in
Princess
it.
Elise.
Oh my
No,
god, no,
please
please.
Sonic
no.
06.
Please, no real humans in
Hell
it.
no.
Cartoon,
Eric,
please, if you're gonna use
I'm
humans,
gonna,
please
I'm
make
gonna
them
ask you to
cartoons.
leave now. Hell no.
What? I'm the
Please.
one hosting this one.
Please make all the humans
Ray, do you
cartoons.
wanna-
Sonic 06 masterpiece.
Oh, get out.
Masterpiece.
Ew, get out. We're not talking about the makeout scene from Sonic.
It wasn't really a makeout scene, to be fair. It was just one kiss. But
It
yeah, it was
wasn't
still
like they were
weird.
done kissing or
It's,
anything.
I'm just playing devil's advocate here. I'm not saying it was fine. It was still weird.
Oh,
Just a
no.
kiss.
Beauty and the Beast, man. Except, you know, told really terribly.
Because if the
And with
movie
Sonic
is based-
characters.
And with a realistic human and a
Anything
cartoon
like-
hedgehog.
if the movie is anything like the Sonic the Hedgehog Sonic 06 game, then
Bleh.
2 hours of it is just going to be fighting Silver the Hedgehog.
Now,
It's
2
not
hours
good.
is gonna be fucking saving Elise 85 times. Because that's all I remember from that game, is that she gets caught, like, over and over and over again, and Sonic just keeps after saving her over and over again. She was worse than Peach, and she had one
Dude.
game.
Or
In
the
one
movie's just mostly Sonic running around slowly at the city, the first city, just falling in the water through the
Dude,
railings.
can you guys imagine if they tried making 06 into an actual film? Like how complicated everything would be and how long it
Everything.
would be?
They were like, God, it's such a shame too, because
There were so many side
there-
quests in that game.
there is like a good game hidden there somewhere. It just needed way more
Behind the loading
time.
bar.
Yeah.
Dude, would they include the glitches too, like with Sonic's infinite power bar?
That's what I was just about to mention, Ray. I was just about to mention Infinite Glitch. They never patched that too.
They never ever patched
They
that, even
never
though they had
patched
patches
it.
for other things.
God, what a shit show that game was. It's hilarious that over a decade later, people still remember it. It was that big a deal.
It was really bad.
I think because it was the first like modern gen looking Sonic game.
Yeah, it was the first HD Sonic game.
It was
mean-
the first HD Sonic game, and there was a lot of hype behind it. And I remember I
Dude,
got
the
it.
E3 trailer gave like no impression of like the game being terrible. It just looked like it was a beautiful HD Sonic game.
Yeah, it looked like a regular Sonic game, but like prettier. So
I
people
remember
were
I got
excited.
it for the holidays one time with my Xbox 360, and I played through it. But every time I died, the game just ended for me and took me back to the beginning. And they didn't have
Well,
a
yeah, I
fucking
get
memory
that.
card. So every time I ran out of 3 lives, I got so mad that Sonic would fall in the water in the hub world. I'd be just
I know.
At that
You
point, the
can
game.
die in the hub world.
At that
You
point,
don't
the
know
game
how
might.
long I spent in the first city. I remember every character. I remember every gesture.
Do you remember the accordion man?
It basically became purgatory at that point. You're just like, well, fuck. I want to get to the rest of the game, but I can't because I keep dying.
Honestly, that's
I love that it
hub
boosts
world.
you to the
That hub world
main
always
menu.
looked like
How do you
a
lose a
VMod
life
map to me.
for dying in the hub world?
Well,
That's like dying in the Switch Palace in Mario World.
That's like passing out in class and you die.
yo,
I
but
love
like,
that it takes you to the main menu and makes you hurt though. Like at that point, the game might as well just come out of your Xbox and go back into the case.
do you guys remember how
They penalize
Yo,
you
I
heavily for it.
still remember.
Like
I still
keep putting you
remember
back
that
in and
video
loading up the game.
You step
Have
on
you seen
someone's
that-
Tibbs in the subway, you die.
you die?
Guys, have you ever
Is
seen
that the new
video?
you old? You died.
You die.
Guys, have you ever seen that video Isaac made on his channel where he's walking with his friend down the street and they happen upon this bin of
Oh,
like
I
empty
know
game
what
covers?
video
I remember
He
that.
goes like Sonic 06. The unspeakable.
All right,
Also,
we're
I'm not
keeping-
gonna
we're
lie.
keeping all like pre-2018 YouTube off the podcast, please.
That was a good video though.
That was
Thank you.
iconic.
Thank you. I prefer to keep my art
Your art.
withdrawn.
Even though
Also-
it's public.
I'm not gonna lie, Ray. When you first started that like flashback to that video, I thought you were gonna say, remember that video Isaac made where he's just walking down the street with Tim's? Oh yeah, I thought you were about to say he was wearing Tim's.
My friend was wearing Tim's, if I
My
recall.
Timbs!
So it's just a video of my friend. All right, I'm gonna share this video publicly with the viewers since I don't really mind if you watch it, but it's basically my friend curb stomping the shit out of Sonic 06 in Tim's. That's it. Art.
Tim's.
It's no use.
That's my Tim's.
Yo, Tims are better than Sonic 06.
Oh my god.
2 Tim's out of 10.
What?
2 Tim's out of 10.
Anyways,
2 Tim's out of 10.
Oh man. Speaking of Tim's, I want to know actually. Do you guys actually have a pair of Tim's? 'Cause
yes, I have one.
Does the
pair.
character
never-
editor have Tim's
never
in
owned
Sonic
Tim's.
Forces?
I do. Maybe.
Yo, what if that was DLC? We got a Sonic t-shirt, why not? Let's get Tim's.
Let's get New York Tim's.
Speaking of Sonic T-shirt, did you guys hear that Sega tried to charge people for the Super Sonic DLC, and then they were just like, "Nah, man, we're not gonna." So they tried to charge people $2, so it was free for like 2 months for Sonic Forces.
Why is it even pay? Why do you even have to pay
Why would
for
that
it?
be
Why isn't it just in
DLC?
the game?
But wait,
Yeah.
so so
Is
they
Sonic,
wanted
Super
to
Sonic like a traditional mechanic?
no. So it
No.
was free for a while, and then they said after a certain day in February, it's not going to be free anymore. And then what ended up happening was it was like they took that back like a day or two after, so people probably bought it still, and they were like, we can't do this, like, so it's all going to be free, the DLC for the Supersonic DLC. And so I was just like, really? You guys really like want us to pay $2 for Supersonic? Like, it doesn't
That
really...
should just be an in-game feature.
Yeah,
That
now
is
it's
an
in
in-game
Sonic
feature in every Sonic game since
Yeah,
the
that
first
one.
one.
that was the
That one-
complaint.
Can you imagine buying Sonic like the very first one and you're like, oh, you want this? Like you have to buy the other game for
You take the
Super
cartridge,
Sonic.
take the
Can you
cartridge
imagine
to
if DLC was
Blockbuster, pay
possible?
$2, and then they'll install
In the
Supersonic. in it.
16-bit era, that would have been crazy.
Hey, you want to go Super Sonic? Take your game to Blockbuster, and they will do it for you.
I mean, hey, in this day and age, fucking Konami is selling Metal Gear 5
Oh,
safes,
no.
so anything's possible.
No! Why are they selling safe
Konami.
files?
You made me laugh at the mention of the name.
Yo, did you guys see the secret message in Metal Gear Survive with the
What's
checklist?
the secret message?
All right, I gotta pull this video up right now. This is so
I
fucking
know, I
like...
kind of know what you're talking about because I've seen screenshots of like a checklist, but I didn't read it. Like, is there a secret?
This is
message
some
there?
crazy shit, but it's so cool at the same time.
Is it
Someone
crazier
hit a
than the
secret message.
Is it crazy than the "you know I had to do it" to him meme where he's like in
Like-
front
like-
of the table saying "change my mind"?
Like they're basic.
Man, I knew you would love that meme, Isaac. I was waiting for you to see that.
I had to do it to the change my
My
mind.
mind.
They're basically like a renegade Konami employee. Like, check this out.
Oh shit, Renegade. So he was fired.
Well, no one knows who it was yet.
What's the secret message say?
Um.
Do you remember?
Hang
Because
on.
I don't want to watch the video like.
All right, I gotta click. I recommend watching the video. We might have this linked for people in the podcast to watch, but I'm trying to skip to the end. But basically, if you look at that list in the thumbnail, you'll see that there's a bunch of letters at the beginning of all those animal names, and it spells out a secret kind of message.
Oh, I see
So,
it.
Yeah,
see it.
vengeful mosquito. That's the Konami employee writing this. MG, and you see how it says kill, like killed off. They killed off Metal Gear, and then it says KGP forever, Kojima Productions forever, and then at the bottom it says to Bastard Yoda and Cunning Yuji.
I see that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Holy shit. That's
Who's
the best part of that
Bastard
game
Yoda?
now.
yeah.
Oh, the game is that like people like the board or CEO members of Konami or
That's a
something?
rogue employee, probably.
Yeah,
and it's
that's
an
why I
Easter egg,
asked.
like,
Did he
you
get
can't really
fired
notice
already?
it.
Because if he's caught, if this is out already, then they know.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Wow.
That's the best part of that game. And it's just 1 second.
I haven't even played the game yet, and I know that's the best part.
I feel like we don't have to play the game to know that's the best part.
That's like
Do you
the
guys
one
remember
redeeming
when,
quality of the game.
So when the Game Awards, when Kojima came out and just like bossed everybody, bossed as in not actually bossed everybody, like he like just
He was a boss, like
Yeah,
Clean my
yeah.
shoes.
he was sick.
Oh, you mean like he was clean my Timbs?
Now I need to see Kojima wearing Timbs.
Dude, imagine Snake with Tim's on.
Yo.
how's he
That
gonna
is
stop?
awesome.
Wait,
Alright,
do you
Konami,
guys remember? Wait, do you guys?
earn my respect back by putting in DLC for Metal Gear Timbs.
Wait, do you guys remember when
Man, nah,
when
man.
Ray
Even
was
Timbs can't save Metal Gear Survive. I'm
Not
sorry.
Not even Tim's.
Not even Timbs.
Do you guys remember when Ray was playing Dance Dance
Oh,
Revolution
yeah.
in
I
Tim's?
was wearing Tim's and Snake.
That should be like a proposal for Konami, and we present Ray's video. Watch the following as to why
My boy.
DLC in Metal Gear would be great. My boy, you're playing with
Yo.
Timbs on.
And then they also added DDR minigame for Snake.
Oh my god, that'd be like the Han Solo minigame.
Yeah,
Han Solo.
I remember when
I'm solid
Kojima did
Snake.
come out. I do remember when Kojima came out at the Game Awards and like basically bossed everyone.
Yeah, he was like that was
It
one of the
pretty cool
highlights.
to see him there. It looked like he had a good time.
Yeah.
Flash
I mean,
Friday.
hell, I still remember the year prior to that Game Awards. Jeff Keighley, like, just flat out, just like curb
He called out
stomped
Capcom.
Konami.
He called out
Yeah,
Konami. Yeah,
By
I
saying that,
remember
like,
that video.
they
I remember that,
disallowed
too.
him. You know,
And
honestly,
everyone in the crowd booed too.
Yo,
with all
speaking
the
of Jeff
shit-
Keighley, speaking of Jeff Keighley, there was a joke like, I'm not sure. So there was a joke like 2 or 3 Game Awards ago, like in 2013 or something, or 2014, where they call him like the Doritos Pope for some reason.
Yeah.
And someone
it's
photoshopped
because
like
of that.
someone photoshopped like a Pope hat. I'm gonna send the picture, but they photoshopped.
I know
like,
exactly
a
what
Pope
you're
hat on
talking
him,
about,
but
though.
the hat was like a bag of Doritos. Not
I know
chips.
exactly what you're
Dude,
talking about, though.
that's-
So what is
that
it? What
was-
is the meaning behind the meme? Please tell me.
So
That's why,
whole.
No, go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say that came from like a Halo 4 video, like promoting Halo 4, and he's like mentioning it was like Doritos and Mountain Dew, like you get double XP with like if you buy Doritos and Mountain Dew, and
Oh,
the video
He
just
was
kind
the
of blew
poster
up.
boy.
Yeah, because he was the poster
Oh.
boy for that whole thing. But yeah,
I
what
was
were we
gonna
gonna
say,
Ray?
like, when Jeff Keighley was announced to be the announcer for the Smash Invitational, that's why all those memes came out of like his splash screen saying Jeff Keighley pays his dues, and it's spelled like Mountain Dew. And
Oh
they
my
have
God.
all the Mountain Dew Doritos in the background.
I miss those Smash memes, man.
Dude, same.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just something funny I remembered. You know what I also remember from the Game Awards?
What?
Fuck the
Fuck the
Oscars!
Oscars.
Fuck
I
the
was waiting.
Oscars.
You know,
I think
honestly,
we were on
like-
the same page.
All the like memes and the
Literally, fuck the
questionable.
Oscars! It's on right now. We're not watching it. So, fuck it.
Oh,
Oh
it's
right,
on right
the
now?
Oscars are on.
Yeah,
Oh,
they're
yeah,
on.
damn, I just realized.
And on
Yeah,
for like
I forgot
2
about the
hours.
Oscars.
And we're
Yo,
here
this is
for
like the-
podcasting.
This
Look,
is like
unless
the
the
third
Greatest
time-
Showman is gonna
I've
win
got better
something,
things to do than watch
I'm
the
not
Oscars.
watching.
Dude, it's like the third time we do a podcast on the same night as the Oscars.
Now people
Oh,
are gonna
yeah.
tune into us instead. Watch.
Yeah.
But
No, watch us get like all of ABC's viewers, and now the Inkling Bros podcast.
Moonlight
What?
won Best Picture. We made a mistake.
It's just Lawrence. Back to fucking.
now,
They're
honestly,
speaking of
like,
dicks.
Speaking of Oscars. Anyways,
Well, it's happening right now. We don't have any.
so I have personally, I have one more topic before we move
You
on
have
to
personal
Eric.
access to the
You
Oscars?
son of a. Before we move on to Eric's list,
Yo, I know Leonardo DiCaprio too.
one of the things that I
I
wanted
know the bear
to,
from
to
Revenant.
talk about
Yo,
was,
I know him too.
was the like whatchamacallit. Damn. God damn it, Isaac. The
fucking
okay,
ice cream shit.
Ice cream, yeah. So one of the things that I was really kind of interested recently was the old
Lawrence
ice cream
really wanted to talk about this.
ice
folks.
cream
The
truck
topic fails, blame him.
characters. So like
Ice cream truck? What are we talking about?
Well,
you know,
we
the
put in the
soft-
chat. It's literally like he wanted to talk about like how back then, like when we were kids, they had those ice creams from ice cream trucks that was like in the form of a character from a
Oh,
cartoon or
okay.
something.
Like
a video
Sonic.
game.
Right?
like
Yeah, like
Sonic.
Sonic or
With the
Mario or
messed up
SpongeBob.
or the
Uh-huh.
Millennium Puzzle.
I
The
don't
Millennium
remember that
Puzzle
one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Batman.
When was there that?
The Millennium Puzzle?
Yeah, I've
I
never.
remember the
don't
Millennium
remember.
Puzzle.
I
yeah.
don't remember that
I don't.
either.
If you can like point out which ice cream van in the Bronx gave you Millennium Puzzle ice
I mean, okay, hold on. I'm gonna try and
Yo,
find
you
one.
got the Yu-Gi-Oh Popsicle, my man.
I remember SpongeBob
Yeah,
ice
dog.
cream popsicle. I remember Sonic ice cream popsicle. I don't remember the Millennium Puzzle popsicle, which probably came with the Tim's popsicle.
No, guys, I
I
need.
want a Tim's popsicle.
Yo, does the gumball for the Tim's Popsicle go where the Timberlands logo is?
Yes.
Are the shoelaces made out of sprinkles?
Yep.
I will try to find it, but anyways, that was something that was part of my childhood. Every time that the ice cream truck came, I was like, "Yo, I need to go get the Sonic popsicle," or like the or the Buttercup pop. Was it Buttercup? No, Bubbles. The
Bubbles.
Bubbles
Yeah, they
pop.
had a
Buttercup.
Bubbles popsicle too.
Yeah,
They still sold that for
actually,
the longest
my
time
question-
too.
It probably doesn't matter, but
they had those
were these
gumball
ever, like-
eyes.
were these bands ever licensed to sell these ice cream treats based off of characters, or were they just doing it on the low, just like, yeah, don't tell anyone?
Nah, they had the license. Well, there's a couple videos that talk about the history of these companies.
Oh,
reaching out to
yeah.
them.
I
It would be
remember
funny
I
about
sent
it.
that video. I sent a video to Ray at one point that talked about that. They had a Sailor Moon one back in the day.
Really, that's interesting.
Yeah.
They had an Oscars one that was shaped like an Oscar, and some people don't get
Fuck the Oscars.
Fuck the Oscars. I'll take one.
it. I'll take one Oscars ice pop. Oh, I'm sorry, that goes to him.
Here, I will send you
Yo,
guys.
Leonardo DiCaprio can't order an Oscars ice cream.
I'm gonna send you guys the
Award.
video. Not the video. The just the Google search results, so you can just see kind of all the characters. But there are a bunch, like But what was the fun part was
when the eyes looked
Yeah.
like demonic. and
when
stuff.
the eyes were
Like
not
how
in the right
someone-
place.
Like how someone at
Yeah,
all these
it basically looks like
conventions is
doo-doo.
carrying around this giant Sonic popsicle with the messed up eyeballs.
Yeah. Oh my god, I remember that.
Oh my
Anime
God.
character.
The Scooby-Doo one. It looks insane.
Oh man, that was bad too.
It looks like a demonic entity.
Yo,
Yo,
look
there's
at
a Shrek one. I
Look
totally
at
forgot
Bugs
about that.
Bunny.
Look at the
Why-
fucking.
Looking at the link,
Why is Doris impaled on the side of her head?
There was a Totoro
Damn.
one. Holy shit.
Look at the Tweety Bird one. He
Jesus
looks
Christ,
high.
that's SpongeBob.
Did you guys see the Pikachu one? Yo, look at the Pikachu one.
What the hell? Yo,
Yo,
there's
the
Avatar
Bratz one
ones.
looks derpy as hell.
There's Avatar ones.
Mother
Zuko.
of pearl.
Oh, Zuko. Oh no,
my
that's
God.
DeviantArt. That's
Oh,
DeviantArt.
they had a blue
All right,
one from
everyone
Foster's.
watching.
Danny
you need to look
Phantom.
up. You need to look up ice cream characters with gumball eyes just to see how weird they looked.
Oh, look at the blue one from Foster's Home. That looks
Oh, wow.
cute.
Yeah, I saw blue. Looks pretty cool.
It
Guys,
actually
there's
doesn't
a
look too
Splat
bad.
Tim.
Yeah.
Is that
There's a
Pikachu?
Splat Tim.
Oh my god,
The
it is
Tweety
Pikachu.
Bird one looks
Yeah,
like
Pikachu.
he actually wants to die.
Yo,
Yeah, you saw
look
the
at
Pikachu
Mario
one,
and
right?
Sonic Popsicles.
Yeah, some of these are. Some of
All
these
right,
are
I'm
cool.
gonna send you guys the Yu-Gi-Oh one though.
You
I
found
see.
the Yu-Gi-Oh one?
Yeah, I did. I remember seeing
Man,
this in a
these are
few
so
places in the
dirty.
Bronx, but every time
I've never seen that one.
every time I asked them though for it, they never had it. I was just like, the
No,
what?
nigga.
The what? And I was like, the Yu-Gi-Oh one. Do you got the Yu-Gi-Oh one? They're like, the what?
These are really good too. I
What is
remember
a
how good they
Yu-Gi-Oh?
taste.
Yeah, they're.
I'm not gonna lie.
That is just Blankly Pope.
I'm not gonna lie. I've like honestly never. I didn't have that many of these. Because I had ice cream a lot, but I mostly had like regular ice cream. I didn't go for the popsicles that like.
Yeah.
shaped
Yeah,
like
it would only
characters.
be on like like weekend days where my parents take me to the park or something and see the van and we get it. It was
Yeah.
kind of nice.
Yeah.
I actually remember this Yu-Gi-Oh popsicle, but I don't remember if I ever bought one or not.
You know,
or
one
if
thing
anything.
I'll give credit.
anyone's up
This Yu-Gi-Oh, this ice cream Yu-Gi-Oh link that
Yeah.
also has a bunch of like cute fan art of Yu-Gi-Oh characters.
Oh
like,
yeah,
in the
eating
search
ice
result.
cream. Yeah, I saw
Let me
that.
see this Millennium Puzzle Pop.
Oh.
I see
What
one
the
with
fuck
like
is that?
Yugi, Jaden, and Yusei.
Yeah.
One with
I've never
Yugi
seen
and
that.
Taya.
I've
Oh,
seen
it's
it on
actually-
some of the
the
trucks.
The V-Rain's
How would you
protagonist.
eat this? Do you start from the top or do you start from the bottom?
Well, I would.
I don't know.
I would ask
do you
that
eat a
question
Millennium
about
Puzzle
most
Pop?
of them. I would actually ask most of those questions about most of the ice
Because
cream
that the next
characters.
big-
It has 3 angles, so where the hell do you start?
All right, so it depends on where the popsicle stick is inserted. I would imagine.
If it's
The-
inserted on the bottom, it's just like all like uneven
Yeah,
because the top is all heavy and the bottom is just like at one angle.
Yeah, if you look closely, the popsicle stick is at the top of the Millennium Puzzle, so you have to technically look it upside
What?
down.
That is
Yeah.
so dumb. How the hell are you gonna hold? Why is it
love
upside
Isaac.
down?
Isaac is outraged right now. What?
Whose idea?
What do you
who's the
mean?
Idiot who put the popsicle stick
How
on
am
the
I
top.
supposed to eat this Millennium Puzzle upside down?
Oh, my ribs!
Oh my god.
What about my stick?
Dead ass, bro. Why is the popsicle stick on the top?
Yo, what if the Millennium Puzzle ice cream falls on your Tims? What Tims?
Hey,
So
yo, my
which-
dual cards.
So which one was your favorite character, guys?
It falls on your Tims, you lose 1,000 life points.
Oh,
My
that's
favorite.
impossible.
My favorite, I think the one I ate the most when I did actually get these popsicles, I think I ate the Ninja Turtle ones.
Yeah,
I think I had SpongeBob or Spider-Man the most.
I had
yeah, SpongeBob too.
SpongeBob and Sonic the most.
I always loved getting Sonic and Bubbles.
Yeah.
I feel
Those
like
are
the
like- those
one
are
that
rare ones.
always turned out derpy were the Sonic ones.
Yeah.
Like, no matter what, they
Sonic ones,
always
yeah.
turned
That became a
out derpy.
huge
The funny-
meme. If
The
you,
funny thing too is that Sonic has like, this character design where, he just has this one big eyeball, so you can really put his pupils anywhere in his eyes area, but they still look really derpy
still
on the
fuck it up.
popsicle.
I mean, I guess that's what you
Yeah,
get when
so
you
much
mass produce
space.
this
How do
shit,
you
right?
Fuck that up, man.
I've literally never seen a normal looking Sonic popsicle at all.
Yeah, I've never had one. I mean, I've
I
had
feel
one where
like
it's
I had
close.
back in the day, but like it's rare now.
You know what I also had a lot? The Flintstones push-up pops.
Oh, those
Oh,
I
I
remember.
remember those.
I had those.
I got those from the deli.
Yeah, I didn't
Yeah.
get them from ice cream trucks. I got them from the deli.
But like,
In the
Or
freezer.
the
yeah,
supermarket,
Yeah.
either or.
I would never get them from the ice cream truck. I'd get them from the supermarket too. But I used to so occasionally I get it from the ice cream truck, but they would like upcharge my ass. Were you guys ever like
My
whenever
ass.
you saw the ice cream truck and the most expensive thing out of all the ice creams was the Choco Taco? Like if
No,
you
I've
had like
never even heard of this Choco Taco.
it's like a taco
I have.
made out
But
of
it's
like
chocolate.
waffle, and it has like some chocolate. It's a heart attack waiting to happen.
Sounds slightly like diarrhea.
Yeah.
But so
Sorry,
when I
but,
was
like,
in
the idea I get from this is like it literally sounds like diarrhea.
So when I was in
Taco.
when I was in elementary school in the summer camp, we used to, at the end of the day, the ice cream truck and the icy man would always come and wait right in front of our school, and at the end of the day they'd let the students go out and buy. And so I usually came in like $3 or $4, like really nothing, right?
I'm sorry. You said the IC man. I was thinking of ICE, the deportation group.
Why?
You said the ICE man. Oh, look at the ICE man. Freeze! Let me see.
No,
your
I was
passport.
thinking parija, chino, cherry, strawberry,
papers.
rainbow.
Rainbow, cherry, mango, coconut.
You. Same
Hold on,
president.
my friend.
So
Same president.
God
Where are you
damn.
from?
when I
you're
when I
not.
was in elementary school,
I have 15 cents. What
I
will
would
that
have
get me?
never, because I always wanted a drink. Also,
Nothing.
I always wanted a drink also, or something, right? I
Damn,
wanted
you
two
drank
things,
Asian
and I would
wine?
never order the Choco Taco. And so when I grew up and I I went to volunteer there instead of being like a student there. And when the ice cream truck came, I used to buy the Choco Taco just because I had never gotten it when I was a kid. And it's really not all that. I was like, wow, I did not miss out.
Lawrence was very disappointed when he
I was very disappointed, actually.
I know.
We should do Lorenzo food reviews episode.
I love getting milkshakes.
God,
in the truck.
no.
That was cool. You know they're expensive. Like
There
those
was
ice
the
cream trucks.
Street
overpriced.
Sharks one. Oh my god, does anyone
Street
even
Sharks?
I had
remember that
Street
show?
Sharks popsicles.
Street
Oh my
Sharks.
Why does
Oh
that
my
sound
gosh.
familiar?
It was a TMNT
It-
ripoff.
Yeah, it was a TMNT ripoff.
Oh God, this show.
It was those mutated sharks that ate concrete and all that.
All right, so short, very quick story. I saw this video in one of my work orientations. I don't know. It's just like, what the fuck?
What video?
I'm sorry, not video. I saw an episode. So at my
saw an
work
episode.
orientation, they showed us a video, which was a promo of the company, and at the end, they left they left YouTube on autoplay, and the next video was an episode of Street Shark. So in the middle of it, we're just sitting there like, so just people in the office room are just like, so when's the first day we get paid? And then it's just talking Street Sharks on the projector. Like, what is this?
So yeah, and they also had the WWE Superstars ice cream
They
bar.
had WWE ones, yeah, I remember. Which is weird because it's like, I'm pretty sure kids aren't really allowed to watch that, or like they shouldn't watch that.
Well, they
So
do
why
it
are there-
anyways.
But so why is there like WWE Popsicle?
Well, they do
That's
because
like
the
having
kids
like a
watched it
Popsicle
anyways.
GTA protagonists. Like technically, we're not supposed to be playing these.
Yo, I know him. He beats up like 20 people.
He murders like 20 people.
There was also the Wolverine one. Oh my god. I
Oh
remember
yeah,
seeing
they
the
did have
Wolverine one.
Wolverine.
Yeah, that one's a bit more understandable because he's still like a comic book character. And there are some like versions of X-Men that don't play up like the rated R-ness of Wolverine.
No, I was mostly commenting on how crappy
Same
it
with
looked.
Batman, because there was a Batman one too. I remember.
Take a look at
Yeah.
that. The Wolverine and Spider-Man one right next to each other.
Yo, have you seen the Hulk one?
Oh yeah, but you see, that one I'm kind of, it just
Guys,
made me.
do you want to go out and get a popsicle of these one
Yeah,
day,
yeah.
just for the hell of it?
If you go to any deli, you
Just for
probably
the-
can still find it.
Totally.
Let's do it. Let's each get a different character and just eat it like while
We
walking.
gotta do a video of it.
Yeah.
Spring is coming soon, so it'll start
Oh yeah.
warming up hopefully. So
Also,
That'll
one
be the
day when
perfect
we
time.
hang out
Trucks are
at
popping
Ray's
up
place.
Yeah,
Ice
or
cream
we can
trucks
do
are
that.
popping up if that the other day is any indication.
Yeah. Oh yeah. In the middle of winter.
Spring is loading, guys.
So, all right, Eric, I'm done for my news that we've went on many tangents on. So
Oh, you're
now it's
going?
your discussion section.
All right, bye, Lawrence.
Jerk. Go ahead.
So this is a podcast. No, I'm just kidding. So yeah, I just thought up of some interesting things, just things that I think about when I'm bored or if I'm watching, just like wasting time just on YouTube, like I usually do sometimes when I don't feel like playing a game, which is most of the time these days because school takes up most of my time anyway. It's weird, like, school takes up most of my time, but there is some, like, every once in a while I do have some downtime, but I don't feel like playing a game
Right.
in that downtime, because I'm just not used to it. I feel like I'm gonna have to wait till spring break to, like, really, like, play something, like, religiously for at least a little bit.
Yeah.
I can't wait for spring break just to like really get into all the games on my list. I can finally play Crash.
Oh,
Oh,
dude,
yeah.
you gotta play Crash.
Not Warped. Crash.
Warped? You
Insane
only want to
Challenge.
play Warped, you don't care about the first two?
I already played Warped, but I'd play it again. But I want to play Crash Insane Trilogy on PS4 and just finally get into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that game's fun. If it comes out on Switch and PC, I'll have to think about rebuying it because I'm still not sure. Those fucking time relics can go piss off. But besides
So
that,
don't
the
do
game's
the
fun as
time
hell.
relics.
But I'm a completionist when it comes to those platformers.
All right,
man.
but you beat it
They're
once
great.
already.
I have like a small problem with like 3D platformers now that come out. So, I mean, it's not really a problem, but so like Ukulele came out and it was not good.
Yep, it was not.
it was really bad, but it
Which
looked
is a
really
real
cool.
shame.
It looked really good in the teasers
looked
and
really
Because Banjo
promising.
Kazooie was awesome. So when I heard like
It
the
was.
same team was making a new one,
I
was
don't
like,
get why
oh
these-
man.
I don't get why these 3D platformers that come out today are just so lacking. And it's made by the same, like not the same company, but
A lot of
the
the
team-
a lot of the people
some of-
from Rare that worked on Banjo was on Ukulele.
So what I don't understand how it didn't like, not that it even didn't do well, but it just flopped.
I'm
Like,
sure it
people
did well, but like people didn't really like it as much. Like it was very mixed. I know some people do like really enjoy it, but like overall, people did not like it more than Banjo.
It kind of makes me sad because I grew up playing Spyro and Crash, and I didn't play Banjo Kazooie, but I really liked playing Donkey Kong.
Banjo
64.
Kazooie was fucking awesome. It
I
was
played-
better than Mario 64 in my opinion. I'll go on record as saying that.
Yeah.
If only just because Mario 64 is a fantastic game. Don't get me wrong. Like it's still one of the best N64 games, but I put Banjo
It set the
above
standard
it.
for 3D platformers. Yeah.
I put Banjo above it because, like, it had all the hallmarks of a fun platformer, like, you know, colorful, like, characters and stuff, good music. But what put it above Mario 64 to me is that you would constantly get new moves. Like, in every
Yeah.
world, there was new moves. In Mario 64, you didn't have that. Like, all the moves you start with, you end with, and that's it. All that's there is, like, you know, those caps that you would, All right, well, Isaac left, who I was primarily talking to about that.
God damn it! I'm listening.
But yeah, like I put Banjo over Mario 64 because of like how with every world you visit you learn new moves.
Yeah.
Which because in Mario 64 all that's there really is just like those caps you would get like that would turn you invisible or like
Oh,
the metal
yeah.
cap or like the winged cap. There was no like actual new moves that you would learn. And I know that like I imagine that's not really a thing with any Mario 3D platformer. Like you're not really learning that many new moves. Because like in Odyssey I haven't played it, but like I imagine you're not learning a bunch of new moves when you play
Yeah.
through that game. What you start with is what you have. But Isaac,
Yeah.
what happened?
I clicked out of Discord by accident somehow.
Where were you? What was the last thing you heard?
I don't know. You said some people enjoyed ukulele, and
Well, yeah, I was just saying that I personally.
you said you were talking about Super Mario 64, like how
Yeah.
how good, and Banjo.
Yeah, I was just saying. I'll just repeat it just quickly, but like I think Banjo is above Mario 64 to me because for one thing only is that with Banjo, with every world you went to, you would learn new moves, and you just
Yeah.
constantly get new moves that you'd use throughout the entire game. Whereas with Mario 64, you don't really do that. Like what you have at the beginning of the game is what you have for the whole game,
Correct. Yeah.
outside of like those power-ups, like the metal cap and the wing cap and all that.
Yeah.
They're both
You
still
guys-
really good, but like I prefer Banjo for that reason.
Have you guys played, or did you ever play Ty, the Tasmanian tiger?
Oh yeah.
I did
actually
not.
had
I
that.
don't really know of it.
It was
I know
so
of the
that
game.
was it was like a 3D platformer that came out on like PS2, GameCube, and Xbox, and I think PC. And they had an HD remake that was just made last year on Steam for PC.
Are you serious?
And I'm hoping,
Wow.
So it was a 3D platformer game, but the main element of it was that you played as Ty, this tiger, and you could throw around boomerangs, and
Oh,
it
yeah.
worked just like you were talking about, Eric, where like, so Ty starts off with these playing boomerangs, but then later on, which you can like glide and throw around as a weapon and fight enemies with, but like as you progress through the game, you get new boomerangs, and some of them like light up on fire, some of them freeze enemies, and then you even had one of these, this one pair that if you threw them, they could like blow up, and they were just awesome. Like a really good 3D platformer game that that like it was only made. I think the game came out in like '05, so it's like a dated game, but it's not that old. And 3D platformer games now, like you don't see that many made. So I just wish like they made more.
Yeah, honestly, like it feels weird. Like Yooka-Laylee was supposed to be like a big, at least attempt a big resurgence in 3D platformers, but honestly, Hat in Time did a much better job at like a much lower budget too, which is crazy to me.
I haven't
played it, but like Hat in Time looks fucking fun. I want to play that at some point. That looks right up my alley. It looks like Banjo, but like
fully agreed.
It looks like a way better Yooka-Laylee, pretty much. But yeah, it's funny. I think you're kind of right. Honestly, there isn't that many 3D platformers these days, and the ones that do occasionally come out don't really do as well as like.
They're usually either a Sonic game. Well, I mean, even Sonic games are kind of like
that's true.
Thing, so you can't really count them as.
Like, I barely counted them these days, especially because with Sonic, the last good ones were Generations and Colors, which was like what 2010.
Yeah.
So I guess if you're not counting that one and not counting like the last games like Yooka-Laylee and Hat in Time, and I guess not counting any remasters or like or remakes.
Yeah, like not counting Crash because
the genre is kind of like
route.
It's kind of dead at this point, and it's
it's basically dead besides like Mario, because like Mario's still going strong.
Mario's
like,
carrying
3D World
right
and
now.
Super Mario Odyssey and all that.
That's insane how like Mario Odyssey is one of the best games like critic review wise, and I guess you could say fans by popular choice.
It was a huge
It's one of the most popular games of 2017, but the genre of 3D platformers itself is just like it's not around.
It's not that big. I mean, yeah, which is pretty depressing, honestly, because I love platformers, 2D or 3D, but especially 3D, because I played those more.
Yeah.
Just to remember who keeps you all working.
Yeah, it's really like
Mario.
That was a game I really want.
I really want to play that. Yeah, I heard that game is really good.
Yeah.
I just never had an Xbox when I grew up. All I had was Nintendo, and I had a PS2, but my brother played GTA on it. So.
Oh man, so you didn't have any of the platformers on there, like Sly and all that, or Ratchet and Clank, Jak and Daxter?
I've played Sly, and I actually have it on my PS2, but I never got to put time to it.
Those are really good.
No,
too.
I'm lying. I actually played the first. I played Davis Raccoonus, like the first Sly game.
Oh yeah. I'm actually playing that on my PS Vita.
Was Stevens
You've been playing that for like forever.
I could be wrong. Was Sly the first Sly Cooper? Was it Thievis Raccoonus?
Yeah, it's Thievius Raccoonus. Yeah.
The next one was Bandit.
Yeah, I played that on PS3. That game is hard. Like I mean,
some of those games are hard.
But if you're new to the genre, to like the Sly Cooper,
you know what's fucking hard? Jak 2. Jak 2 was hard as hell as a kid.
I remember Precursor Legacy was like annoying at some parts.
Oh yeah.
Honestly, I mean, I can't remember what I thought of as a kid, but like. I mentioned it to you guys in our group chat because that funny story is just a really quick funny story, but I was on Twitter. It's like, oh yeah, Jak and Daxter Precursor Legacy came out for PS4, like through that PS2 on PS4 thing. I can't wait to get it at some point. Can't really get it now though. And some random Twitter user was like, "You want it?" I was like, sure. And he just DM'd me a code because what happened was that he pre-ordered Uncharted: The Lost Legacy, that like expandalone game.
Yeah, I remember you said that. That's awesome.
Yeah. And when you pre-order, you get a code for Jak and Daxter, but the guy didn't really care about it, so he just gave it to me. And so I downloaded it and just I beat that game in 2 days, honestly, in 2 sittings.
It's such a good game.
It's a really good game. I was shocked at how short it was. I was like, damn, I don't remember it being this short, but it's super short. But like, I can't remember as a kid what I thought of it, but playing it now, it was really really easy, which is like so crazy to me because Jak 2, I remember that one being annoying as fuck with some of those missions that you had to do. But yeah, fun game either way. Jak and Daxter 1, great game.
Really good.
That's a fun coincidence.
I'm hoping they could like. I don't remember if there was like a new game from the Jak and Daxter franchise coming out. I think I heard something about it, but I don't remember.
There was the last Jak and Daxter game, if you don't count like the HD collection and these ports to PS4, was I think a PSP game.
Oh,
which wasn't all that good. No, not Daxter. Daxter was really good, but there was another PSP game like Jak and Daxter: The Lost Frontier or something like that, which apparently was not all that good. And there really hasn't been one since. There were rumors circulating, and I think Naughty Dog even did say that they were like thinking of like maybe rebooting the series with like a fourth game.
Yeah, that's what I heard. I heard that.
Yeah. We don't know if that'll ever happen, honestly. But did it show off like concept art or something of like what could have been? They said that they don't want to rule it out completely. Like they don't want to just go, yeah, Jack and Daxter dead. So we might see it eventually, but who knows?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it's just me like not really being too interested in what Naughty Dog like. I like Naughty Dog. I like Uncharted. I'm just not too interested in what most of the games that come out on the PS4 now, with the exception of like really good games like Persona. Hopefully like Kingdom Hearts if we get it before like in this generation.
I'm crossing my fingers that it's coming out this year.
Like there's games on the PS4 that I want, no doubt. There's a huge selection. It's just I'm not too interested in the ones that come out, like in bulk. I really wish they could come back to the 3D platformers that they used to make that I grew up playing. Like
I'm honestly hoping that with the success of Crash Insane Trilogy, which really sold really well, and hopefully the success of Spyro trilogy, which we know is coming at this point, like it's all but confirmed.
Yes.
I'm hoping that like with those sales figures, people start wisening up and going, people really like this, huh? And just start developing new ones. I mean, I think Activision already said that they're already considering like just making new Crash games in the vein of the original trilogy because of how well Insane Trilogy sold.
Yeah. I'm really excited, honestly.
What were you gonna say, Isaac? Because you sound like you were gonna say something there.
You basically summed it up. Like, they totally could do that.
Yeah. I'm hoping, because I love 3D platformers. That's why I can't wait when I have time to actually buy A Hat in Time and play that at some point. Because that's like that's the only other like 3D platformer that's come out that's like really really good. At least off the top of my head. I might be forgetting something, but like it's literally just like Super Mario Odyssey, Hat in Time. If you want to count Crash, that too, but that's really just a remaster, not a new game.
Yeah.
And that's basically it.
Well, who knows? Maybe this is the pathway to a new game. But that's something else. So
maybe that new BioWare game is a 3D platformer.
Who knows?
No.
I certainly.
But yeah, damn, we went on a big tangent there.
Yeah,
I didn't even get started. Nah, it's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine. I welcome these tangents because it just doesn't stop conversation at all. I still wish though that fucking Rooster Teeth didn't start that off-topic podcast, because if he didn't, I would have totally been like, that's what we're naming our podcast. So we go off topic.
Off topic, but.
But yeah, I just thought of some.
Call it the tangent.
The tangent. That's honestly
tangent
not a
in
bad
time.
Name. No.
Why do you hate me, Eric?
We'll get a bunch of like math people just like, what is this? I came here for geometry.
Cosine is where it's at, nigga.
Where are the math proofs? Go.
Oh god, anything but math proofs. I hate linear.
So yeah, what are we talking about next?
Yeah, I was just saying.
Life.
I just thought of some topics like when I
you can download this on your iPod and on your TI-84 calculator.
I thought you meant TI.
What?
Like
Download this podcast?
Yeah.
Listen to this podcast on your graphing calculator. You're just taking like your final exam, and then we actually say something funny, which is rare, and then you just laugh out loud, and then the teacher's like, "What is that?"
Oh god, can you imagine how?
Did you say that is rare?
I'm just making a self-depreciating joke about us. Don't worry, I'm not
asshole.
actually saying we're not funny. Jeez,
guys, don't worry, we're hilarious.
We're hilarious, yeah. We make each other laugh. There's that. We have a good time around each other, so there's always that. So who cares what other people say?
We have a great time with each other.
Exactly, Papa.
Exactly. Now I'm kicking you for real out of the show.
Do it.
But yeah, I thought of some topics that I would just kind of popped into my head when I'm just sitting around doing nothing or just going on YouTube, just thinking about just weird things or things that I find interesting. And one of them is games that we just flat out can't play anymore. And what really got me like thinking about that is because I remember seeing like a video, just some random video that showed up in my recommended feeds, like, oh, top 10 XBLA games. I think that's what it was. And because Xbox Live Arcade had a lot of great games, and one of the games that was on that list was the Scott Pilgrim game, Scott Pilgrim versus the World, the game. And I was like, oh man, I remember that. I wonder if I can play that. And then I look it up, and it's gone from the store. You can't play it anymore because the license ran out, so they had to pull it from the store, and that was the only way to like buy that game. So yeah, like literally, there's some games out there that we just can't play anymore because either due to licensing or just how rare it is.
That was Marvel vs. Capcom 3 for the longest time until they recently got the license back.
Yeah.
It's just really bizarre to me because like yeah, that game Scott Pilgrim, unless you bought it at some point, you can't play it because that it was only released digitally and it's not on PSN or Xbox Live anymore. If you deleted it, you could re-download it because you could just go to your download history and just look for it. But yeah, the only way to play that is if you bought it when
That
it
would
was
kind
up.
of suck, honestly. If you bought it on like last gen on the 360, like would you be able to buy it or re-download it and play it on your Xbox One?
I don't know, because I know that there is backwards compatibility. Like, you know, that's a big thing that Microsoft is doing and pushing with Xbox One. And they have said that they want basically every Xbox 360 game to be backwards compatible. But I don't know if that applies to the downloadable stuff. I
Damn.
honestly don't know. That's something, Ray, you should probably check, because you have the Xbox One in the group.
He doesn't have Cuphead yet, though.
I love that as soon as you say that, his mic...
That has fucking nothing to do with backwards compatibility.
We already did our weekly.
I just had to bring it up. It's just really funny. All right.
Yeah, let's leave it to one check-in per week.
Yeah, you don't have to ask him 3 times or something. But yeah, like I don't know what you guys think about that. I just found that interesting, and I went on like just a search, like what other games are out there that we just flat out can't play anymore. And a big one obviously is like online stuff like MMOs that get shut down or anything, or like online only games that and their servers end up getting canned, so you just can't play anymore.
Fusion Fall, yeah.
Fusion Fall's one, obviously. Like basically any big MMO. One I remember. Toontown Online.
Oh my god, I love Toontown.
Club Penguin.
Oh man.
But they have the new Club Penguin though.
Yeah, they have like a new one at least.
What was the whole point of that Club Penguin like funeral?
I mean, I don't know, man. It was a big source of
Because it's
memes.
not because I guess it's not the same anymore. It's like not the same game.
You changed, Club Penguin.
War never changes, but Club Penguin does.
That would be an awesome video topic. Like a title.
What, Club Penguin?
No, that'd just be an awesome video title, period. War never changes, but Club Penguin.
I was gonna say, we already talked a bunch about Club Penguin in the panel.
Imagine like everyone logs on to the new Club Penguin and then they go to the same server that was like the one they used since like 3rd grade. And then, yo, what's up, Poker Face 22? Hey man, yo, you remember me? It's Strider. You're not Strider. Wait, yeah, I'm Strider. You're not Strider. Who are you? Wait,
It's X Dark Shadow 96.
I know you.
Jeez, you make it sound like a horror movie almost. Or like an R.L. Stein Fear Street book. I don't know you.
Memento the movie in Club Penguin.
But yeah, like it's just crazy to me. Some other games that I like looked up and remembered. I don't know if you guys ever heard of this PS3 game called Mag, which
Oh,
yeah,
I remember that.
I never played it, but I know about it.
yeah, it was the one big thing about that game was that it had huge servers which is pretty revolutionary for consoles. It had like up to 100 and something players. Let me look it up just to be sure. But let's see here. Yeah, it actually apparently it holds the world record for the most players in a console first-person shooter because their servers held up to 256 people, which is even Battlefield doesn't have that many, which is crazy because Battlefield, that's like the big thing with Battlefield games, that they have servers that are up to like 64 players and all that.
That's insane.
But yeah, that Mag game, that was a multiplayer only game, but they shut down the servers for that in 2014, and it just and now I didn't even know because honestly I forgot the game.
I never played that game, but
I never played it. I wasn't that interested in it. I was like, oh, that's kind of neat that they have like such big servers and the game is stable and all that. But when I read about it, it's like, oh wow, it's gone now. Like, I'm sure you could probably get a copy of the disc on eBay or something, but it wouldn't work because the servers are down. Like, that game is just flat out not playable anymore. And when I think about that, I just start thinking about like the people who were actually dedicated to that game. Like, what would it be like, you know, playing that game and then hearing that news, and then you have that one final day of playing that game, and that's the last day you can ever play that game.
Yeah.
Like, that'd be a weird feeling, like, if you really liked it, and then it's just, and then you just, you know, you boot up your PS3, it's like, well, this is the last time I can play this game, and then that's it. I gotta move on to like another multiplayer shooter or something.
Yeah.
It's just weird to me.
I actually felt that, so it's actually not with the PS2, obviously, because I never really played online with the PS2. But there's this game, I talked about it before in one of our RPG podcast, but Virtual Magic Kingdom. I love to talk about this. This was back when I was in elementary school. I was in like 5th grade. This was like the only thing I would play. I'd get home immediately after school and just play that. I wouldn't do homework. I'd just play Virtual Magic Kingdom. And it was so fun because, you know, I love theme parks. I love rides. And so it was like really cool that I got to experience it in the theme park. Even though I've been to a theme park and just kind of experienced it in new light with the online capability. And it was really cool. You got to meet people and you get to like go on rides and you get to play games, and it was really just kind of like one of my favorite things. The only thing is like when you were chatting, you had to like use different like chat words because you couldn't really like say things like, you couldn't use numbers. You could not. So we developed a number system where like 1 is on, 2 is TOO or TO. Right? 3 is tree, 4 is FOR, so it's like we like actually tried to like, so like there were times when maybe somebody would want to give out their number or something like that, or like they want to say how many barrels will you take for my pin or something like that. And so it was interesting in that way because you were able to like it was just like a really big community. And then sometime later on they announced that they were closing it, and it was just really sad because I had made a lot of friends there. I in fact made just a bunch of like really cool friends there, and we all hang out and we had fun, and I also had some friends from school that played with me. It was just really cool. It was a good time. And then it just didn't, like, it ended up closing about a year or two after I started playing, and then I think I was in 6th grade when it got discontinued, and it was really sad because I really liked the game. And
because it was just like a big part of your like daily routine at that point.
Right. Like I had already gone through 2 Halloweens and 2 Christmases, and they would change up the theme of the entire like universe, and it was really cool because you can like experience these new themes. And so I'd already been through 2 Christmases and 2 Halloweens at that point, and those are really nice because you can just kind of see what's going on. And it was interesting. It just was really cool, and I really, even to this day I miss it because I did enjoy playing the game, and it was fun. It was one of the original kind of like games that like you can really just do whatever the hell you want, dress up however you want, be who you want. I mean, you can't say what you want, but you can really just do whatever you want and spend hours on end just playing like the Pirates of the Caribbean game or the Haunted Mansion game, trying to earn coins so you can buy like a chair for your room, and you could buy multiple rooms and decorate them and like make them look nice and create, and you can link rooms to one another, and you can do games with your rooms. There was this funny game that people used to play called Cute or Boot, where they would like tell you a theme, and you essentially anybody come in, and it was very judgmental, but people would line up in a row, and they would say, okay, this theme is now spooky. And then you all kind of just like had to put on like a model, and you put on your clothes like something spooky, and then the person would walk down the line, and he says cute, and keep walking, and then they say if they didn't like your outfit, they'd say boot, and then they'd boot you from the room, and you couldn't get back in.
Das Boot.
So it was. I think it was like it was an interesting.
That sounds mean.
It is mean, but at the same time, it was just like part of the community. It was kind of fun, and it never made anybody like feel bad because it was just like that was the point of the game. Like if you were gonna feel bad, don't play the game, right? And if you won, then you got like a free something. You got like some pin, a free pin, or a free piece of furniture. Like there was just a lot of things, and there were like also rare items that you could trade, like golden Mickey ears, sparkly Mickey ears, firework pins, things that were just really, really cool. And at one point, if you went to the actual Magic Kingdom, they'd give you a barcode that you can use for a pin in-game. Or if you were part of the Disney Movie Club, you know, some Disney DVDs came with like a pin that you can put in to your computer in the Disney Movie Club and earn points, and some of those points you can use towards a pin on the game. So I think you need 600 points, the equivalent of I think like 6 DVDs or something like that, so that you can get this really rare pin. That like, what was cool is that the game also had like magic pins, and like they let you do anything like levitate, teleport, or drive, and it was just really cool. I really had a good time on that game, and I miss it. So that's a game that I can't play anymore. So I tried to seek out things like Toontown and Pirates of the Caribbean online, and
Yo, I played a bit of Pirates of Caribbean online.
I
imagine that's gone too, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I could never find a game to replace it, and it sucks.
Yeah, it's like it's really weird to me because I even like in regards to the whole Mag thing I brought up. I went looking like just to see if like there were any videos like about like that whole shutdown, and there were like I found a few commentaries of some people who really liked that game, and I listened to one of them, and it honestly is just kind of sad, just because like the guy was like so melancholy about it, like how Isaac said, where the guy was just like, yeah, I mean, I understand why Sony has to do this, and I'm not trying to hate on them for doing it. Obviously, like you can't keep servers up for multiplayer games forever. But it's depressing me that I won't be able to play this game anymore, and I won't be able to play with all these like people I've met online. Like he was honestly really kind of torn up about it all. Like, and he made that like one last commentary to celebrate that final day the servers were up, because the whole thing when stuff like this happens, and he talked about in his video, like when a game is about to get shut down, what usually happens is like the day or two before it shuts down, like a lot more people jump in and play it, probably because they hear the news and they're like, fuck, I guess I might as well like play a bit of that game before it's just gone forever. And you know, Mag, like it wasn't the most popular shooter, so it's not like there were a ton of like, I imagine it was hard to get into matches in that game like 1 or 2 years after it came out, because it wasn't that popular. Like obviously when it comes to multiplayer FPS, you're not going to be beating stuff like Halo or COD and stuff like that. But when Mag was about to shut down that very last day, a lot of people jumped in just to, like, I guess for one last hurrah, and they played a bunch of rounds until the servers just got shut down, and that was it. And that guy was just like, he was so sad about it, and I honestly kind of felt bad for him. Like it sounded like he really liked the game. I mean, I don't give a shit. I've never played the game, but like honestly, if you really love something, it does kind of make me sad just seeing you like get all down about it.
They hit the maximum amount of players.
Yeah. And I just looked it up. Pirates of the Caribbean Online was shut down in September 2013.
Wow.
Yeah,
but yeah,
that was up a lot longer
I remember
than I
that
thought.
game being around for a while.
Yeah,
It was the same thing with like Toontown and like even VMK, that on the day that it shut down, everybody was online, and so the developers who did VMK, they were also obviously really sad. There was a protest at Magic Kingdom to get the people to not shut it down. But it was, you know, to no avail. It's just like they didn't really care. We're going to shut down the game anyways, right? And it wasn't, they were doing it at the wrong place. Like, Magic Kingdom's a theme park. You are really going to protest at a theme park? And like, get this game back up. No, like, no one cares. They're there to, most of them are tourists.
Yeah.
They're there to enjoy.
like the same thing with Mag. Is like no one was really Sony, because there was no way they were going to win that fight. They just kind of accepted it. It's like, well, it was bound to happen eventually, and they just played it one last time.
That's kind of sad about console MMOs or lots of online, massive online games on console at least. Either when the studio just can't afford to keep the servers up, or when like the publishers like Sony or Xbox have to say like, nope, you gotta pull a plug in. That's it.
It was just
Same applies for Nintendo too when they turn off the servers for their games like Mario Kart. Or like
it's just really
Nintendo Wi-Fi like just got the
gone.
plug pulled like
on DSi and on
Wii, and that was really recent too. They just pulled the plug on
it
all
was
the Wi-Fi games.
it was like what, less than a year ago at this point, right?
Yeah, just a few months ago.
Yeah, it's really weird, and it makes me think it's like, wow, all the multiplayer games that we're really into right now that we're playing, like say Overwatch for example, or Splatoon 2, even those games eventually are gonna die.
Yeah.
Like, because Blizzard, Blizzard and Nintendo, they're not gonna keep those servers up forever. Like that just doesn't happen.
Yeah.
They
At
have
a
to
certain
keep it
point,
up
they
for
have
a
to
long
stop.
time.
They have to keep it up for a long time, obviously.
Mario
But they're not
Kart
gonna keep it
Wii.
up
Do you
forever.
remember when Mario Kart Wii came out and the servers for that, like, it ended over a year, but like it's insane from the year it released. It came out in like '07
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm not saying
or
like
'08.
I'm not saying that these games aren't gonna have a long lifespan. They
Oh, no,
definitely
no.
are. I'm just
I
saying
get
that
what
like
you mean.
eventually they will have to shut down, and it's just
Yeah.
weird for me to think about that. It's like, wow, one day, the game that Isaac loves on his Switch, Splatoon 2. I mean, because you talk about it a lot. I think the most in our group with us, and it's just weird to me to think it's like, wow, eventually he won't be able to play that at some point. It'll be like probably over a decade later that'll happen, but it'll still happen at some point.
That really does, like, it does suck.
Yeah.
I guess the only remedy to that, if you can call it, is the follow-up game, the sequel
Yeah,
to it.
that's
which
honestly
will
why
hopefully-
they shut servers down at some point, because the follow-up game, and people would just move ship to that.
But for
But
games
still,
that
it's
don't
just-
have a follow-up or a sequel like Mag, I'm not sure if they had a Mag 2.
No,
But-
they didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it sucks that like a whole community or game just dies like right there, especially when
Yeah.
it's when it's like fully online.
Yeah, that game was only online. There was no single player. So when they shut down that server, they essentially like killed that game.
Yeah. And
It's really weird.
it was so the developers of VMK back in the day, they created another game called Virtual Family Kingdom, which was supposed to be like a follow-up, or just like so people who enjoyed the Virtual Magic Kingdom game would go there and just kind of continue on with what they were doing. And obviously they had to do it without the copyright, and I think they had a lot of problem with that because, the world was just too massive. Like, they built a world that was too massive, and it didn't even compare to the old one. Like, the only reason people liked that game, VMK, was because it felt like you were at the actual theme park. And, like, you can enjoy, like, playing games and rides and stuff like that. But you couldn't do that with the with this new VFK. This one was just more of a social game, and eventually it got shut down very quickly, so you couldn't really experience it anymore. But there was that, and same with Toontown. That also
That got shut down too.
yeah. But on the last days, oh my god, it was really sad. Everybody was saying bye to each other.
Yeah, like that's what it's so like. It's honestly kind of depressing to think about.
Yeah, I had to ask my parents to stay up a little later, so that I can just watch the game die. And then at the strike of 12 that night, suddenly the game just stopped, and then there was a little notification that showed up on the screen that says, "Thank you for playing VMK. As of this day, the server was shut down at this time on this day." And we hope to see you again someday. Never happened.
It's crazy to me that this happens. The closest I've ever had to experiences like what we're talking about is there was a game on CartoonNetwork.com called Big Fat Awesome House Party for Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends.
Yeah,
and
I remember that.
It was something that you would like basically log on every day to like play some mini games and like talk to the Foster's characters. And I didn't play it that religiously. At least after a while, I didn't play it. At first, I would play it a bunch, but then like I kind of stopped going as often as I did. And like eventually, like I think a year or two later, I was like, let me hop on that game again, just for the hell of it, just for some fun. And then I find out it's like, oh, they shut down that game, and I honestly got kind of like really sad about that. I was like, damn, I remember like putting a bunch of hours into that game when I was really young, at least for like the first few months before I like started going on less and less. That's like the closest experience for me. I don't know if Isaac, if you have one like like what Lawrence said.
I mean, I've definitely been upset when Nintendo shut off servers for.
Right. I guess yeah, that counts.
I've never
Wi-Fi
had
thing.
to deal with the game being shut down and not really playing it, aside from like flash games and stuff like that. But I was never really part of like a whole online community. I did play MMOs, but never got like really invested into it. The most I got into was like RuneScape, and that's still going somehow.
it's
It's still going.
That
People,
game's
like,
changed so many
mining-
times at this point.
Just farming gold in RuneScape to sell to like other
Yeah.
people. Like people actually mine and sell like materials now in RuneScape for real money. It's crazy how it's still going. But RuneScape, Adventure Quest Worlds, that was a game that I really got into. It's somehow still going. I think it might actually close down because from what I've heard from people who still play it, it's like it's getting into some controversy with like the community and the people who run the servers. But besides that, those are two like MMOs I played a lot. I never played the Pirates of the Caribbean game, and I played some Club Penguin. But besides that,
Oh yeah.
the most I've had to do with is like Nintendo games,
Nintendo
being shut
Wi-Fi.
down. Some
Yeah.
PlayStation games that I got into that are like no longer. Oh, okay. Well, there was this DC Universe online game that I played.
Yeah.
Like, for
I
not
think that's
that
still
long.
up though.
Is it still up? I
Yeah,
remember
DC
playing
Universe.
it. Like,
I know what you're talking about. I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
it's still up.
I think I played it like maybe in 2013, and I'm not even sure if it's like.
Oh,
I'm not
okay.
even sure
So
if
here
it's
we
still
go. The PS3 version is shut down. It actually shut
Yeah.
down this year, but the PS4, Xbox One, and PC versions are still going. But the PS3
Oh.
version is shut down.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, for DC Universe Online. I played a bit of that. It wasn't too bad, but it really didn't stand out from other MMOs besides the whole, DC IP. It was kind of cool though, making your own superhero or supervillain. That was like
Yeah.
the big
Yeah.
draw of that game.
I liked it on PS3, but yeah, that's about the most I've had to deal with. Nothing.
funny that
too
you-
serious
it's-
like Mag or Pirates of the Caribbean, like being shut down and a whole community just like disappearing.
It's funny that you mentioned DC too, because they have this one game. I don't know if you remember this game called Infinite Crisis, which was
It sounds familiar.
you know what a MOBA game is, right? Stuff like League of Legends, Smite,
okay.
and all that. It was
Yeah,
basically
I
a
definitely-
DC.
I've seen ads. I never played it.
Yeah, it was a DC Universe MOBA, and that game. It's honestly kind of depressing to think about because, in all honesty, like the game wasn't all that good. I don't play MOBAs, but even I could recognize that game really wasn't. It really didn't stand out from like the other games in the market of that genre, like League of Legends and all that.
No,
The
of
big
course
draw
not.
was the IP, DC characters, like you're playing as Batman and the Joker and all that.
Mm-hmm.
But that game was a DC MOBA, and it got shut down literally. I'm not even exaggerating. Like 5 months after it launched, it didn't even
Damn.
last a whole year.
So it literally crashed and burned at release.
Yeah, like it came out in March of 2015, and it shut down in August of 2015.
Wow.
Jesus.
And that's another game you just can't play anymore. I have no clue if the
Anyone
community
play it
for
at
that-
all? Did
I mean,
anyone play this?
I mean, it must have because it was an open beta for a while, and then it had the official release in March. I don't know how
Yeah.
big the numbers were. I mean, I guess not that big if they shut down that quickly. But yeah, that's another game that you can't play anymore. It's
There
just
was
gone.
a 3D.
It's weird that like the only way to see that game is like YouTube videos at this point.
Yeah. There was a 3D MMORPG. It was somewhat MOBA, not really, but like it was kind of like a kid's version of World of Warcraft, but not really because it didn't have like those World of Warcraft style. But
Oh, you're
like,
talking about World of Warcraft.
I'm actually talking about Free
You
Realms.
said World of Warcraft for kids. That's World of Warcraft.
Yeah, well,
There were a lot of kids on World of Warcraft.
Yeah.
I
There are
can-
a lot
I
of
can
grown men who
confirm.
were kids on World of Warcraft.
I'm talking about Free Realms. I don't know if you guys remember.
Oh yeah, I remember it.
Oh
yeah.
my god, I spent so much money with my parents just every month paying for that membership because it was like this was also aftermath of VMK shutting down. That was just like I'm trying to find a game to play, an online game I can play and just enjoy with
Trying to
other
get your
people.
fix.
Yeah, and it was pretty fun for like 2.5 years. Like I actually enjoyed it, and I would like buy the membership, $10 a month, but it was fun. I didn't have a credit card, so I just asked my parents to buy me a membership every month. And they didn't really have a problem with it. I was enjoying it a lot. I was like getting to level 20 ninja. Like I was just becoming really really into the game. And then at one point I was just like, I'm gonna stop paying for this because I don't really want this. And I think I got an Xbox 360, and then that was the death of me playing that game. Or a Wii. I don't know which one killed my me playing that game. It was the Wii or the 360. But I really enjoyed that game. I did. And then about like 3 years ago, I tried to see maybe is this still around? And then it got shut down. And I was like, wow, that really sucks. I really enjoyed Free Realms for what it was. Because it was kind of the game that I went to after the shutdown of VMK, besides Toontown, and it was something that I actually enjoyed, something that kind of made me feel like I was into this whole fantasy MMORPG scene, but not really.
Damn.
So,
But yeah, that was.
In peace.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's crazy. You know, there's just is Ray still here?
yeah, he is.
Okay. Ray, do
At
you want to
Ray.
like?
Ray, where are you?
Ray? Rip.
I guess he's.
I'm here. I'm just dealing with stuff in the back.
Okay.
Oh,
All
okay.
right. But yeah, I mean, that was just. I hope you guys thought that was a decent topic.
Yeah.
I just found it really interesting. You know, just thinking about stuff that we just flat out can never play. It's basically like an archive at this point. The only thing that survives of stuff like Mag and Infinite Crisis are YouTube videos, and that's it.
Same thing with VMK. You look up VMK tribute, you'll find it. Oh my god. I remember.
But I guess
Days.
one thing that could kind of tie in. Oh, one last thing I wanted to mention. Isaac, do you know about the whole Halo 2 thing? How, like, some people kept those servers going longer than Microsoft wanted because they stayed connected in an online match and they never ended the match. So they had to keep. Because they said that they would only close the servers when no one was online. So some
I heard
people, like,
about
set
that.
up a match.
Yeah. No, I know. I know about that, and I think that's hilarious. That's really
Yeah, I just find it funny that they managed to keep that game going for, like, a little.
cool. Whoever has the power bill for doing that probably they probably racked up a lot of money in their power.
They're probably
bill just to
rich,
keep
I
their
imagine,
Xbox
to
on.
do that.
Yeah, they really invested in Halo 2 because who the
Yeah.
hell would do that?
I mean, in all fairness, Halo 2 multiplayer was fucking fun. I still prefer Halo
2 was a really good game.
Yeah, I still prefer Halo 3, but Halo 2 was fantastic. But yeah, I guess that game you can still play single player, but the multiplayer is dead. I mean, outside
How
of the
long-
Master Chief Collection, but I don't know if that game's multiplayer even works.
How long was it on for? How long did the server stay up for?
For Halo 2?
Yeah.
I could look that up right now. I'm not sure, but yeah, I know that for sure those servers are down. Let's see.
It has to be that Halo 2 is so old.
I'm trying to find
So
out.
old.
It old.
It old.
Yeah. Pretty much.
God.
Where is it? I'm trying to find it. But I know. Did Halo 2 have a PC version? Because I know Halo 1 did.
I think so.
It might
Yeah,
have.
Halo 2 was out on PC.
Servers
so.
shut
I'm
down.
not
Let me
really
just search
sure.
this. The last man to play Halo 2 on Xbox Live. Here we go. He
Oh my God.
The
he
Last Man.
it
Sounds
was
like a
back in
movie.
like 2010, it seems. Yeah. This guy kept Halo 2 going until like 2010.
Damn. He needs a documentary.
Yeah. He kept that game alive.
The Last Spartan.
But yeah, I mean, hopefully, a lot of the stuff that we get into lasts a longer time than Infinite Crisis.
Oh, rip.
5 months. Jesus, can you
5
imagine
months? Is
Splatoon
that a
2 was
record?
only 5 months?
5 months for an
Uh,
online game.
That might be, honestly, because
An
I've
online
never heard of an
DC
online
game.
game that got canned that quickly. I've never heard of an online game that got canned in like less than half.
I
a night.
remember seeing ads for it for a while.
Yeah, because they did market it, but not that much. And like I said, like it really didn't differentiate itself that much from stuff like League of Legends, like other games you could play. The main draw really was the IP that they had, being able to play as DC characters.
Yeah.
But to bounce from that topic to the next big one I had, because the other ones are just like small stuff that we could just mention offhand and all. I just wanted to, and it kind of ties into the whole games we can't play anymore. Just like the biggest game, the most interesting game failures out there, and what really got me thinking about this was, I don't know if you remember, back in I think like 2015, there was a game called Evolve that came out, and that game was basically like a 1v4 multiplayer only game. Came out for consoles.
Yeah, it was
and...
wasn't it made by the same people who did Left 4 Dead?
Yep. Yeah, it was made by Turtle Rock, which were composed of people who worked on the original Left 4 Dead.
Hold on.
And
sorry.
Evolve was a 1v4 player game where one character was a monster hunting. One character was a monster basically, and the other four were like hunters of different classes, and it was basically like the hunters trying to kill the monster. and
Oh,
the
yeah.
monster's trying to kill the hunter. And it was one of those first games that really like experimented with that kind of multiplayer style. We've seen other games try stuff like that too, where it's like 1v4, 1v5, and all.
Yeah.
And that game is just really interesting to me because it had a big name behind it. The people behind Left 4 Dead, one of the most popular multiplayer games ever. I mean, it's still going. It had 2K backing it, and it had Evolve Live, Lawrence's favorite,
2K.
and and it had a ton of marketing behind it. I mean, this game was pushed super hard at events like E3 and PAX. So many YouTubers were pumping out videos like leading up to launch or like around launch of the game.
Yeah.
Like I remember like Achievement Hunter from Rooster Teeth, they pumped out a bunch of videos of it, and other like big YouTubers were like showing off the game. They spent a ton of money just like trying to advertise it and everything. And well, like 3 weeks later after that game launched, the play numbers plummeted, and it just kind of died after that. Like I think a year later, the game went free to play to try and like revitalize the community and all that, and it did for like a little while, but it didn't. That also did not last. And now Evolve is just kind of like a footnote in gaming, which is weird to me because
That's insane.
it's just
I remember
it's just
seeing
insane to
how
me.
hype it was at
Yeah.
like the promotion
Yeah.
process of the game. Like when it was being promoted at E3, I remember how hype and how like fun it looked to play. And they had like people at the stage for E3 like playing it together, like friends, like a whole team of 4 and everything.
Yeah.
And it looked really good, but that's crazy. I didn't even know it died. I stopped hearing about it, and I
honestly,
like, what happened to it?
it's the same thing with Mag, where I honestly forgot it existed. But it's even crazier for me for Evolve compared to Mag, because Evolve had a ton of marketing behind it. That's why it's so interesting to me, like how much it flopped. It had so much marketing and so much money put into like just trying to appeal to like so many different gamers. I mean, they were even trying to go for the COD crowd with it,
Oh, yeah.
which I think ties into one of the reasons why that game failed. I think it really should have just tried to appeal to more strategic kind of crowd, because that game does need a lot of teamwork. If you play that game, you can't really play with randos, and you definitely can't play it like COD, like jump in for 5 to 10 minutes and then jump out and all that. It was very different, which is why I think it was a big mistake for them to try to like go for the dude bro crowd, as it were. But yeah, that game just kind of, even with all the hype and build up both on the internet and by the publisher and dev, it's just kind of a forgotten thing now. No one really remembers.
It's kind of sad.
It's just weird to me. You could have games that have like are honestly not bad games at all and are pushed. Like either of those or both, and yet it'll still just kind of flop like this, and it's just kind of a footnote in the whole history
Yeah.
of this gen. I mean, one we've mentioned jokingly, and it's one that kind of like bums me out just because I feel bad for it, is Lawbreakers. I don't know if you've heard about it, Isaac, but me and Lawrence have talked about it, I know for sure. Lawbreakers is basically like Cliff Bleszinski's Overwatch, to like try and put it like in simple terms.
Okay.
Yeah, it was Cliff Bleszinski's hero shooter, and to give an estimate of how bad that game did, one day when we were setting up the podcast, I just went on like Steam charts or some website like that shows you like concurrent players playing a game, and there was literally less than 20 people playing Lawbreakers that one day.
Oh, really?
It was, that game is honestly, from what I've seen, I've never played it, but it's not bad. Like the gameplay itself is solid. I think the big issue is that, well, one, probably Cliff Bleszinski's personality, which can be like pretty divisive, because you know how he is sometimes. Like he acts like, oh, this is the hardcore game, this is the game for like pros, this ain't a casual game and all that. Like just acting like really vain and abrasive and all that, and in not in an endearing way either. Like he needs to, calm the hell down basically and stop
Yeah.
It's a
talking.
video game, bro.
It's a video
And
game, man.
I think you could look up videos of it too. If I recall correctly, it didn't have that much of a marketing campaign behind it, but it did have like some commercials and stuff popping up like around the time of release, like I think a week or two before release. but it wasn't that. It wasn't that marketed. But either way, like it's still crazy that a game can have that low of a player base. And I think the issue was because, like I said, Cliffy B's whole personality, and the fact that the game just didn't really have that much personality compared to Overwatch. I mean, if you want to compare it, one thing that people really liked about Overwatch is the characters, the heroes themselves, and they have like a lot of personality to each one, and each one feels like their own character and everything, even down to like the things they shout when they kill an enemy.
Yeah.
You compare that to Lawbreakers though, and you'll have like a very like personality-driven quote from say Winston in Overwatch, which was the gorilla character. But then in Lawbreakers, the fucking character will shout like, "Ah, you just got killed! #owned." And that was his taunt. I'm like,
Wow,
all
that
right,
sounds like a really like awesome type of like what a personality.
yeah, like honestly, like if you heard both side by side, you'd be like, I'd rather play Overwatch, 'cause that looks more fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, that game is just kind of
Rip.
it makes me sad. Honestly, I've never seen such a low player base.
Yeah, I'm reading the Wikipedia article, and this is saying like how bad the reception was like okay. They got positive reviews, like generally positive, but it
Yeah.
says that it opened up with like 60% lower player base than the beta. So it lost more than half the players after beta.
Yeah. It's pretty depressing, and I imagine with Cliffy B's, personality, he doesn't really want to swallow his words and just admit that he kind of fucked up there. I think the only thing he said is that apparently on PS4 the game has done a little better, but I imagine not by much. I think the problem also, honestly, is that game came out for $60, and that was honestly a mistake, only because he said at first that it was supposed to be free, and that's what they were planning.
Wow.
But then, like at the
Yeah,
very
that's
last
not
minute,
something you
they're
want
like,
to say.
nah, $60. Like they were going all in on it.
Nah. Pay up.
I think if it was free to play, it would have had a bigger impact and had a larger player base because it would be free.
When you go from saying free to play to $60, nah. That's probably gonna like turn
No.
some people away.
Yeah, if it was free to play, it would have done better. for
No.
sure. I'd bet like anything.
Is that
on
literally
that.
what like? Is that literally what like a rep at the company said? Like,
I mean, they didn't
when it
literally
was
say
coming
no,
out?
but but they were like, we change our mind. It's gonna cost $60.
Hi, someone walks the game, so I have to buy the game, and the employee's just like, nah, it ain't free.
You know which game I wish was on this list though that Eric made? Games that we shouldn't, games that like we can't play anymore. You know which game I wish were on this list?
That sounds like really like messed up. You know which game I
No,
wish no one
no.
could play anymore?
Do you know which game I wish?
Damn.
What?
Battlefront 2.
Oh, okay. That's fair.
You wish it was on the list.
Yes.
Yeah, he wishes it was.
Okay, I was confused for a second. Like, you know what game I wish was never playable?
Yeah, I thought he was gonna get all mean. It's like, fuck it, fuck this one game that people love. Go to hell. I wish it wasn't around.
You know what else? Fuck the Oscars. Because no one likes it.
Yeah, no, I was just trying to bring that up because I'm like the whole free to play. We were talking about the whole free to play thing, and I was just thinking about how Battlefront 2 just got like fucked. In that case, I'm pretty sure it's a good game. Honestly, I'm just so sure it's a good game.
I think free to play, honestly, is like, I'm still not really convinced it's a good business model, like overall
It
for the
depends,
industry.
honestly. I think. Well, for starters,
Here's my take on it. With free to play, yeah, it's great for games that maybe might not have that much content at the beginning, like at launch. Like you'd say it doesn't have it has a roster of 8 characters and it's a fighting game.
Oh, so you
Then-
mean something like Killer Instinct, where it's free to play technically, but you could like pay for specific fighters and stuff like that?
Oh, so like Fire Emblem Warriors.
What are
Okay.
you fucking? That's a Switch game.
I mean Heroes. Sorry.
All right, no, being more specific, I'm trying to think of an example of a free to play game.
Yeah, I love that free-to-play Fire Emblem game on Switch. So
Look how
game. Yep.
mad Eric got,
All right,
too.
so most reasons why phone games, like
It's
okay
not
with
that
being-
hard. Warriors, Heroes. They don't even sound the same.
I'm okay with phone games
Sorry,
being free to
Isaac,
play
keep going.
because like they're just like smaller experiences, you know, like
Yeah.
you just download the game, you'll play it for a little bit, and if you're really into it, then you'll pay for, you know, for in-game currency, which isn't really DLC. You're not adding to the experience, you're buying content in the game.
Yeah.
It doesn't like change the experience. That's why I'll play something like Fire Emblem Warriors, or hell, I'll even play Candy Crush. I don't like Candy Crush, but
I mean Heroes.
Well,
Even Lawrence has gotten you saying it now.
I said Heroes.
No, you said Warriors, but it's Heroes.
Oh, yeah,
This is
Fire
the
Emblem
mobile
Heroes.
game, guys.
It's the mobile game, Fire Emblem Heroes.
I didn't say it
but
this time.
I don't like free to play.
It's your fault, though, that you said it.
easy games, because then it kind of it doesn't like, start like an example or anything, but then people are just gonna be like, oh, well, it's not free to play, then why am I gonna buy it? You know, that kind of thing. Like there are gonna be dedicated people who will buy a game and play it because they're a huge fan of Battlefield and they'll want to play it anyways, or they're a huge fan of the Final Fantasy series, so they'll want to play it anyways. But games that are free to play and then like have a pay like to enjoy DLC characters option, I think it's honestly killing video games, because if you think about it, like a lot more games are going the free to play route and then pay to play option, and it's sort of just like it sets a precedent in a way without it really being like all games should be this way, but it sets people up to like, you know, because games cost, like playing video games costs money outside of internet, and then if it's an online game, then it might have a subscription. So
Yeah,
if
like
you
on
look
PSN
at, like,
or Xbox or Nintendo
or hell,
now.
even like World of Warcraft, which is still
Right.
MMOs.
MMOs.
They've
that
had
have
to make so
subscriptions.
many changes to their subscription and to the game itself to like keep up with how games are priced nowadays, or how
Yeah,
a sale is made.
Because
on a
WoW is
game.
old.
It's old. It
It old.
Yeah. So I mean, I guess I think pay to play is like it does kind of hurt the business model of games. I don't think it hurts the industry, and I'll take it back. I don't think it's killing video games, but I think it's really affecting like how games are
Are made basically.
are made. Yeah. So like for example, I'm not a game developer and I don't really make games. I do want to make some and like, you know, see how it's like to, you know, make a game and get in that creative process. and
Get
stuff.
lit.
Yeah.
It's wool.
No.
Oh no.
Like get lit on fire with the fire challenge.
Yeah.
Well,
Fucking stupid.
I think like if you're someone who made like say you make a game and you don't have like a company to fund you or like give you the money to like, you know, pay for the whole process. If you make the game, you're probably gonna like, if it's your first game, you're probably gonna make it a free game, because like that's a smart thing to do. You want your name out there. But say you were out to make money, then you sort of just like you're convinced to just make the game, you know, pay to upgrade, or make your next game free to play, but that way in that style, like pay to upgrade. So I guess for indie games at least, it sets an example where you're just gonna make a game that's free and then expect, you know, the money to come from content. But that just kind of it changes the industry, and I didn't mind paying money up front for games that would usually come with all the content in it before DLC was like, even with DLC, it wasn't like, you know, Battlefront 2 where you're
Fuck
missing
that
whole
shit.
parts of the game.
Did you say that's the real shit? I'm gonna
No, I
kick
said
you out of the
fuck
podcast.
that shit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I guess I'm rambling, but I'm not a fan.
Nah,
of
I
free-to-play.
guess I get what you're saying. I think that's
I'm not a fan of
reasonable.
free to play. I'll pay up front for a good game, but I'll wait. Of course, I'll wait and see how good it is. Like, see if there's some reviews, and then watch a YouTube video, and then I'll buy it. Because you have YouTube, you have reviewers, and then you have like word of mouth that still goes around. So I think that's enough reason for people to like justify the generic $60 price tag for a game. It doesn't
Yeah.
justify whole parts of the game fucking missing, like whole multiplayer features being added in through DLC, and like characters being locked behind a paywall. Like that's not cool, like Battlefront 2. But
Mhm.
I think pay to play is just like not really my preferred like thing to deal with video games. I'll still like deal with it with MOBAs because I don't really play them as much. Like I don't mind that because I don't play MOBAs, but I guess that's just something. My thoughts on it.
Yeah.
Nah, I think that's a reasonable viewpoint. I mean, with me, Lawrence, you could also like hop in later and say how you feel when it comes to free to play stuff. But I think everyone is probably in agreement in that a full priced game should not have like all these like all this DLC shit, stuff like Battlefront, where it's like it's $60, but yet there's still like in-game DLC, like basically like a whole gacha system where it's like you need to buy loot boxes and all this stuff. You have DLC available on day one, where it's like, why isn't it just in the game and all that? It's like I don't think anyone likes that, and no one wants that, like at all. But when it comes to the free to play, I think for me, I agree with what you said when it comes to the mobile stuff. I think it's fine with the way mobile games are doing it, like Fire Emblem Heroes, Grand Blue Fantasy, Fate Grand Order, Fantasy Flan by Fantasy Flan. But I think those sort of gacha style games are fine because they're free and you could pay for like for resources and all that, and that's all on you. Like you don't really have to pay for it all. You can just play it free to play. I mean, I know that there's like a bunch of stories of like people sinking a ton of money into those kinds of games because they want their waifus and husbandos and all that. They want Lucina in Fire Emblem, they want Arturia in Grand Order and stuff like that. But that's on the player. That's not really the game's fault. You don't have to pay for it at all. So you can't really like blame the devs for like if anything, you'd wish you were the dev at that point. Just swimming in money.
Fuck you.
Nasu is just like kicking back. It's like I don't even have to write a VN anymore. I just can live off this game. but I think the way mobile games have it is fine. When it comes to like other stuff, it depends. I think something like Evolve, that was a full price game, still had a bunch of DLC and stuff and shit like that. It's like no, that's not cool, man. But when it comes to like I guess something like say Killer Instinct, that was not a mobile game. That was a fighting game on Xbox. And it was free to play, and you had access to like a character for free, but you could buy like either the characters one by one, like any that you wanted, or just buy them in all fail swoop at a discounted price. I'm okay with that, honestly, just cause it doesn't feel as egregious compared to like a full price game that's asking you to do something like that.
Right.
When it's free to begin with, I'm alright with it. I can understand feeling some sort of unease with it. Like, you'd probably rather just, pay for it and that's it.
Yeah,
But,
I guess it's just a fear of mine that I'm just projecting that, down the line, games are just going to be, like, all locked, like, free to play, but then you're just expected to just, pay up for the real, like, good stuff.
Yeah. And so I guess now I'll put in my take, but with Fire Emblem
Warriors.
Heroes, I'm trying to stop myself.
Get the pause. Fire Emblem. Wait, which is it?
You're exactly right. I like this entire this game is great, right? And you don't need to. In fact, the game gives you a lot of handouts. Like you don't need to put in a single cent. But if you're really dedicated and you want to get Vacation Corrin, like you're going to pay money for that. And because
you want to get Bikini Corn and all that, Bikini Robin.
Dude, this is a thing. She exists in this game.
Yeah, I know.
Vacation
Grand Order
Corn.
literally has the same thing where it's like Summer Shisho,
Yeah.
Summer Nero,
It's kinda like-
Summer Tamamo.
It's kind of like Pokemon Go, where you're given Pokeballs and all this other stuff as you play along with the game, but
Nah,
you don't
fuck
always
Pokemon Go.
necessarily need to buy it. But the option is there if you want to.
Right, exactly. And and sometimes, like even with Pokemon Go, I did buy like incense and stuff like that because it did help. And I played a lot on the go, and I think it really did what it had to do for the time that I was using it and I was playing the game. But and I think I'm actually gonna get back into Fire Emblem Heroes. I just can't spend that much money on it because, like, as much as I want Vacation Corrin, I like it. This game does like drain funds from you very quickly.
That's honest. That's another reason why scared to give like an honest try at stuff like Fire Emblem and Fate Grand Order because I'm
Yeah.
scared I'm actually gonna spend like as much as some people have spent. I mean, I'm in a Discord server with a lot of cool people, and even just today they were talking about the amount of money they spent towards just like one character. It's like, yeah, I
Yeah.
spent like $300 trying to get this one character. I'm like, god damn, I don't want that happening to me.
Yeah, same here. And so, you know, I like that. And I think that's maybe why I like console a lot of the Nintendo console games and like DS games and stuff like that because you don't really need to buy anything. You just play the game. You unlock things as you go. And you know, sometimes there's DLC, but that DLC is like up to you. It doesn't even like if you buy the DLC, it doesn't really change anything for you. It adds a new character, maybe it'll add a storyline in the case of like Breath of the Wild. And you know, and they're also really cheap, you know, like you can buy like the entire Smash set for $10, right? Or you can buy all of the DLC for $20 if you just bought the season pass. Things like that, you know, it's really affordable, and that's why I have to give props to them instead of me having to spend $60 for COD season pass so that I get all the maps, right? And even though I don't need them, but like all my friends get it, and they're all gonna play on these new maps. So like Emma, and you know, I kind of wanna maybe these maps are really cool, so you know, that's kind of my take on that.
Ah, that's fair. I mean, I don't know if you guys have any other big, like, interesting failures in gaming industry. I mean, I think we've talked about stuff like No Man's Sky. That was like a thing that really shook up the industry when that game just kind of came out in the state it did. I mean, I know that like they've brought out updates for it, and apparently it is a lot better now. But I feel like it's kind of like the deed is done situation where it's like people don't really want to go back to it. It's the only people that are playing it at this point are the ones that just like patiently waited for these updates and all that.
Yeah, I would hate to be one of those people that was like super hyped about it and played the beta and spent all this time like really interested in it, following it up on it, and then it comes out and it's just not what you expected. Because to be honest, it looked pretty cool.
I mean, I think
in
everyone
regards
thought
to
that it
No
looked
Man's
pretty
Sky.
cool at first. But you know,
I
it's
guess
just kind of
that's just bound to happen though nowadays, like in video games, and it happens. Like it does happen. Like a game looks really cool, and then it gets you hype, and because other people are hype, you're just like you're not really paying too close attention to the details or like asking too many. You're not really critiquing the game out far because you want it to be good, and then it comes out and it's not good.
yeah, it's crazy. It's just interesting to me to think about these games that have like either a ton of work put into it or a ton of marketing, and then just kind of crash and burn. I mean, No Man's Sky is probably the biggest example because that game was announced like what 2 years before it actually came out, like 2 to 3 years. Like we saw it at E3 at an E3 or something, and it like
looked
blew everyone's
amazing.
yeah, it looked
back in the
incredible and
day.
it blew everyone's minds. And
So
we
good.
just and that's all we saw of it for a while, and then it would come back at another
Yeah.
event, we'd see some more of it, and that's all we would get, and we would get spoon-fed like little details like what we actually do in the game.
And the game
So it
came
was
out.
like and then the game came out, and then people just didn't really like it because there wasn't that much content and stuff like that.
Like
And
you,
it
Eric.
didn't really feel finished.
Yeah, Eric doesn't like it. Not saying I do. I'm just saying.
Why you gotta single me out?
Well, okay, here's my thing about that game. I really appreciate the aesthetics, and I really appreciate what you can do in the game. I just wish there were more. So, what am I... If
Well, yeah,
were
I
to
mean,
give
like,
it a rating
the
out of
big
10,
contra-
5.
The whole controversy with that game, especially, is that when it came out, there was stuff that Hello Games said would be in the game that wasn't just flat out wasn't in the game at launch. Stuff like multiplayer and all of that was not in the game at all, and they promised that it would be there. So it felt like they were just lying to us and trying to like sucker us in, and we just kind of got duped into buying an inferior product.
Yeah. It really sucked, and I guess now if I were to buy it, maybe like $20 or
False
something like
advertising.
that.
I don't have any interest in that game, honestly. I mean, I'm sure what everyone has said about it is true in that it is better now because of all the updates. But I just don't want to. I just don't care. I don't really want to play it.
Yeah. Right. So, and I wish that were on the list, honestly.
Yeah. But yeah, that was the only other real topics we have at this point. It's just like small stuff that I just thought we could just shoot the shit about for like a little while, like hardest achievements and trophies in games, easiest achievements and trophies in games, hardest
Grand Theft
stuff we've
Auto.
done in a game, period, the hardest and longest games we've completed. I just thought of these because there's some fucking ridiculous achievements slash trophies in some games. Did you know that in some Tom Clancy games, I think it was GRAW 2, GRAW 1 and GRAW 2, there are some achievements to literally be number 1 in the worldwide leaderboard. As in, number 1 player in the world.
Yeah.
I'm like, who's gonna get that?
Pretty good achievement.
No one's gonna get that.
What was the
That's so
gamer
hard.
score?
I don't know. What if it was something like 2?
Oh my god, I would
Can you
cry.
imagine?
I remember, I had a really low gamer score for like among my friends who had like 100,000 gamer score, and I was just like here like 5,000, just like rip.
Not really.
Yo,
I-
what
Yeah.
if with that number 1 player achievement, what if you have to stay number 1 to keep that achievement? And
You
don't
imagine? Yeah, like
be
they
number
took it
1
away
forever?
if you
They
dropped.
take it away from you.
Yeah.
No.
No, please.
You lose.
Good dice. But yeah, I guess my hardest achievement was like that was the game that I really just did it was GTA 4. The final achievement was to 100% the game.
Oh
and
God,
it
I
was
never did
hard
that.
as hell.
I never did that because there's a ton of stuff you got to do in that. Like
there is
shoot a bunch
yeah.
of pigeons.
Yeah, there was a ton of shit, but I obviously I used a guide, but it felt so fulfilling when I finally finished that entire game.
I love. No, well, go ahead.
Yeah,
You-
one of the fun parts of that achievement was doing the helicopters under the bridge, which was fun because it was easy. That was like the easiest part, but then when you played it, it wasn't really that easy because you had to also steady the helicopters underneath the bridge, and if you were one of those people that was like using cheat codes and you got one of those like helicopters that had the missiles in it, then you would definitely attract military attention, and you had 6 stars, and you had to do all the bridges with these 6 stars, and you were probably gonna die. So that was kind of one of the cool things about GTA 4. It was actually one of my first, it was of the current gen GTA. It was my introduction to the current gen GTA because it was the first Xbox 360 game I ever got. So, yeah. Go ahead, Eric.
I love GTA like a lot. I think
Yeah.
it's probably in my top 10 of franchises.
Yeah.
I know it's not for everyone, and some games like I know that some people prefer GTA when it doesn't take itself as seriously. At that point, I'd probably say like just play Saints Row like 3 or 4 instead if you want a game that doesn't take itself super seriously. But as much as I love those games, I've never 100%ed a single one, and I don't know if I ever will. Like I'll do like all the side missions and shit, but I'm not gonna go around and fucking spray tag 100 graffiti spots or collect 100 clams and shit like that. I'm like, nah, that map is way too big. Yeah, wasn't that a collectible in San Andreas, like shells or some shit, like clams? I know I'm not
thinking of
making
like a
that
SpongeBob.
That probably
open
is the
sandbox
collectible in
game
SpongeBob
where you have
game.
to collect clams and shit.
There was a SpongeBob game on like GameCube, Battle for Bikini Bottom, that was basically like a banjo game. Like a
Yeah,
banjo
people
kazooie
consider
game.
that one of the best SpongeBob games ever made.
Yeah.
'Cause that's what I'm thinking about. Where they probably like drove around in the patio mobile.
It wasn't clams though. It was golden spatulas that you would get. They
Oh,
were basically like
yeah.
the puzzle pieces from banjo.
Right.
I'm surprised you remember like down to like what the collectibles were. That's pretty good.
I mean, I didn't play it, but I've seen videos of it, and it honestly doesn't look like a bad game. Like when it comes to licensed game, it's probably like in the upper tier.
Well, a SpongeBob game is more memorable than a DC Universe game.
Rip.
Damn.
Oh no.
Rip.
Yo, you remember DC Infinite Crisis? Nah, I remember SpongeBob. Battle for Bikini Bottom. Yo.
It's lit.
Yeah, I mean, I love GTA. Never gonna 100% it. Never. It just takes way too long. Especially in like GTA 3, where like do 100 taxi job missions, do like
Screw that.
75 firefighter missions. I'm like, fuck that. One of those takes like 20 minutes. It takes
Yeah.
forever. And in a game with no map, GTA 3 didn't have a map. It just had that mini map.
Oh, I
I'm not
remember
doing
was
that.
awful. Yeah, you have to pause to like look at it.
But yeah, fuck. Some of the other like, I remember there was one hard achievement in one game I've never even. It was like I think it was a Star Ocean game on Xbox, and
Oh,
it was
God,
basically
those games were long.
yeah, those games are super long. And I remember
Oh my
'cause
God.
this was another thing where I just saw on YouTube was like, top like 10 hardest achievements and top 10 easiest achievements, and I just saw like some of these just made me go, what the fuck? Who would ever get these? And like this one in Star Ocean was literally like get all the battle trophies. And in theory, that sounds like a normal trophy in like basically any game, get all these things or whatever. But when you look into it, it's insane. The people who have gotten it have said that there's like hundreds of those battle trophies, and some of them, just one of them, can legit take like over 100 hours. Like that
Yeah.
achievement
So
alone could
they're
take
asking you
over
to,
1,000 hours. I'm not even joking.
Honey, are you gonna
1,000.
come to dinner? No. I got trophy. My husband's been in that room for days.
That just blows on my mind.
Will you
1,000
come to
hours.
dinner with your friend? Shut up. Just a couple more
1,000
trophies.
hours for one achievement. I've never even put 1,000 hours in any game, I think, let alone for just one thing in it.
Want to come home, play a little Xbox, collect some trophies. You've been there for 2 hours. We haven't spoken to you. Let me play.
God. There was
Oh,
also
no.
one, and I looked up, and some of these people do have some of these achievements that are just like insanely hard. There's another game. You remember Quake 4, which is I think a
Oh,
launch
yeah.
title for Xbox 360, and there was one guy on like the
I'm
achievement
just
hunter.
laughing at like how many Quakes there are now.
Oh yeah, there's a
They've
lot.
like stuck
Quake
with
4
the
I heard
name.
was
They
pretty
haven't
good,
done a
though.
reboot like Doom.
Yeah, I would like a reboot though. Quake is good. I never played the fourth one though.
Have you tried Quaker Oats? Those are good.
Quaker Oats.
Quaker Oats.
Quake is good.
The best
Quaker
part of waking up is Quake is in your cup. But I remember Quake 4 had some annoying achievements. It had one achievement just like in the Graw thing, get #1 in the leaderboard, and there was one achievement to play 5,000 matches. Now imagine trying to get that achievement nowadays where no one's playing Quake 4 on Xbox 360.
Quaker Oats.
Oh no.
There's a guy on like Achievement Hunter who loves that game, just loves Quake 4, and was determined to get all the achievements in that game. And after years of just like working towards it, he got all the achievements in it, and he legit started crying. Like he actually started crying. And I'm like, I can't even blame him, because I've seen some of his efforts. He uploaded a video of him trying to like find a match, and he would timestamp it. It's like, I've been waiting half an hour, still haven't joined the match. It's like, and then like 2 seconds later, it skips to like 1 hour. Still haven't found the match, and it's like he's just been sitting there waiting, and he
That's
just can't
awful.
find anyone because no one's playing it.
No, that's so sad.
It sounds like
God.
a plot of like a sad horror movie. You can't find anyone. On the game server.
But yeah, some of those I would never get some achievements. I would, however, get some of the easiest achievements in history, like the Simpsons game one of pressing start.
Oh my God.
You remember
There's
that,
a
where you literally
Deadpool one
press start?
too. The easiest
Yeah,
achievement.
Deadpool has some achievements like that where it's like press start.
See, but that makes sense for like Deadpool, because like
For
the whole
Deadpool, yeah,
point
but
of
for like a
Deadpool-
regular game, it's like, are you kidding me? You might as well just give me an achievement
Oh,
for opening the
You
case.
actually started
Yeah.
playing.
This is a funny story, but Matt Groening, the creator of Simpsons, when he had never like played a game. Are you talking about the Simpsons like GTA game, like sort of like GTA?
Yeah,
It's
on
like
Xbox
sandbox?
360, yeah. I'm
Yeah,
pretty sure that's
that
the
one.
one, yeah.
There's a story about when he played the game. Oh, now I remember. I saw it in a Did You Know gaming video. So the story when they showed the game to Matt Groening, and he had never played it before that. He was playing it, and he starts off. They already played like some of it for him, so he didn't have to do like the intro, like tutorials and stuff. So they just set him up, and he's playing as Homer, and he's just running out of the house. And the game lets you hit people, like the NPCs and stuff. So all he did in the whole hour and a half of him playing the game, he went up to Marge and he just kicked her all the way
Bruh.
and he kept kicking her, and throughout the game world until he was just done with it. He's like, I love it.
Oh my god, that's kind of creepy.
Oh no.
It's like some marital abuse right there. 10 out of 10.
Maybe that was like he really wanted to do in this world.
That should be like
Abuse
at the
Marge.
back of the, you know how like in game boxes, like in the back they would have like stuff of note. It's like dynamic multiplayer or some shit like that. What if like the Simpsons game had like you can kick Marge over and
Shit,
over
Marge.
and over again?
You can abuse your wife.
Point. Oh my god.
I'm in.
You can abuse your wife.
Abuse your kids.
Beat your wife and kids.
Oh man,
Oh no.
that's a topic. All right, I got a topic for like a future
Beating your
podcast.
wife and kids is the topic.
No, God no, Jesus. Stay safe, everyone. But I think one fun topic would be like think up of some funny like key things to put in the back of a box, like stuff that you would not put in the back of the box, like abuse your wife in the Simpsons game. Because like I just thought about that because of what you said. Like that whole story just made me laugh, and I also remembered just some friends that I would talk with on Discord every once in a while, like when we
Yeah.
have time, and we just shoot the shit and talk about shit. And I don't know how we got to the topic. We were talking about Fire Emblem and feet. I don't know why it was. I don't know why it
I'm
was the
listening.
topic. I think it was because I was actually. I remember now. I think it's because I was talking about our hangout with these Discord friends. Like I mentioned how I told Isaac and Ray about the whole Game
About the-
Facts feet thing.
Game Facts 4.
Yeah, and like we were just talking about Fire Emblem and feet and how that was such a big deal. And I was like, you know what? I honest to God think that the reason so many characters in that game is barefoot or like wear sandals is because of the fact that they finally added feet in Fates. And at that point, I'm like, you might as well just put it in the back of the box. It's like Fire Emblem Fates. Feet. Like we got feet now. 'Cause that's like a whole thing.
Dynamic
But yeah.
graphics.
I want that's
Dynamic
homework for you
graphics.
guys. As the
Nintendo has done that before. Nintendo has done that before, where they make a design and what players have
Dan, you-
responded
Yeah,
to like.
wow, what the fuck's happened to Isaac's?
Isaac, are you dead? Rip.
What happened?
You're getting all robotic-y
Static.
Can you hear me?
right now. Try
No, but
again.
the viewers will.
Try again.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I think you're good now.
I guess I'm just
Nope, nope, no. Oh, wow, damn. What happened, Isaac? Yeah, let him just leave and join.
Yeah. So, yeah.
I think on the subject of achievements, I remember in Lollipop Chainsaw, there's an achievement where if you move the camera under her,
I know what you're
Julia's
talking about.
skirt, yeah, you get an achievement.
To look
like,
under an achievement is to look under her
I
skirt.
swear it was an accident. The
Yeah.
achievement says.
In fact, there's an achievement for that in Nier Automata, isn't it?
I think
There is,
so.
I think, yeah.
Yeah, for looking under 2B's skirt.
So-
Goofy skirt.
I guess now my question is Nier Automata. I've heard so much about it. What is it?
Apparently
I know
it's
it's
a very good
honestly.
game. Obviously.
Raina Chan voices the main character.
But like, what is it?
Apparently it's a character action game with
It's a beat 'em
with
up.
some RPG elements. It's made by Platinum, obviously.
Right.
Character action game, but it
You
also
already
has
know it's
RPG
good.
elements, and it's apparently really well written, has a great story and great characters,
Right.
and really good music.
And really good.
He gives me a
boobs,
lot of Metal Gear Revengeance vibes.
right? A really
does.
nice ass, right?
And yeah, 2B has a very nice
He
butt.
has a 3,000-pound ass.
Sit on me and kill me.
The Squidward meme.
I love how that's a thing. Sit on me and kill me.
I want to play it at some point. It looks good. I honestly kind of want to play the first Nier, which is why I'm hoping that one day it gets remastered.
When I
Isaac
hear
is gone, by the way.
yeah, when I hear Nier, I always think of for some reason I always think of Gravity Rush. I don't know why.
What?
Yeah, no, I'm serious. Like whenever I see
There
the,
actually
like, the
is fan
character-
art of both her and Cat.
Yeah, I think of Gravity Rush whenever I see 2B for some reason. And
2B or not 2B?
Oh damn it! I was gonna make that joke later.
Sorry.
but I mean, I'm excited, and I feel like even though they're not connected, I might Gravity Rush is a lot higher on my priority list.
I have the Vita version. Oh, there's Isaac.
Hello?
Rip.
Are you good now? Try and
Okay.
just say something.
Something.
All right, you're
Alright,
good.
you good?
Cool. I forgot what we were talking
We were
about.
talking about Tubi's ass.
When you left, fucking Lawrence just asked the question, "What is Nier Automata?" And just said Tubi's ass. That's what Nier Automata is.
It makes sense, doesn't it?
Yeah, no,
Are
the
we
game looks
still-
good. I want to play it at some point, but I don't know when.
Yeah, same here.
Isaac, do you remember what you were gonna say? And it's getting robotic.
Alright.
I said no. Can you hear me?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
you're good now.
I said no. I don't remember.
Okay. But yeah, there was, I guess to move on from achievements and just, what's the hardest stuff you guys have ever done in a game? Like, what's something that was super hard that you finally, like, beat? It could be, like, a whole game in general, or, like, a boss fight.
Oh,
Why are you
something that's
laughing?
more recent. The damn so Breath of the Wild was also really hard. Like there were shrines there that were just really out of this world, and they were hard. And you know, there are two things I'm on my mind right now. The Trial of the Swords was really difficult, and I spent 5 days trying to finish that because it's essentially like a one run through part of the game. Like you die, you have to start from the beginning. So it's really difficult. You have to think tactically instead of like, oh man, I'm Link, I'm just gonna run in there with my sword and just start whacking shit. And like with the whole durability thing, and you don't have your master sword, you have any clothes, like it is so difficult. It really is. But I finished it, and I'm so glad I do. The point of it is that if you finish it, your master sword gets upgraded by 10 every time, and if you get it fully upgraded, it also increases in durability to the point where it's virtually unbreakable, or unrecharge, or like you don't really need.
Dude, that's
to
my
recharge
favorite
it.
M. Night Shyamalan movie.
But besides that, something that actually Eric and I experienced was the Crash game, Insane Trilogy. The whole some of these levels are just ridiculous for a time relic. Some of them are just ridiculous. Sometimes even finishing the level without a time relic is insane. But like, could you imagine what it's like if you had a time relic? And one of the levels was Native Fortress. I couldn't beat it for the life of me. And Eric came over one day, and it took him about an hour, but he finished. He beat it for me.
God, I
I'm so happy.
fucking remember that. You were like, please, Eric. Like, you were practically begging me. I was just like, fine. I didn't want to do it, but you really wanted that time relic. And I just sat there, like, quiet, just trying again and again and again, and dying again and again. There were like a decent amount of close calls. Ray was there. He saw it along with Lawrence. And there were times where I got angry, and I just had to slam my fist on the floor, because it was so... That level is annoying, because the problem with that level is that it's one of the longer levels in Crash 1, so to do it in one big go and fast as shit is pretty tough.
Yeah. Did we get the platinum relic?
No, but you better be fucking happy with gold. There's no way in hell I'm getting the
happy.
platinum.
I am. So,
No
like,
way in hell.
And I didn't get many of the I got like a lot of the sapphire relics for the early ones.
Sapphire relics aren't worth anything.
I know
though,
they
telling
were
you that.
nothing, but at the same time, it's like I don't really care too much. I'm not that much of a completionist. I'm only a completionist when it comes to like visual novels, and that's because like you kind of have to be a completionist with visual novels.
I mean, yeah, it'd be weird to only see like the coffin ending in 999, just be like, alright, that's it. It's like, no, you need to
or
you
like
see all of
you
them.
get the first ending for the ZTD.
You get the game over
and-
ending in VLR, like one of the like 80 game over endings, and you're like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm done. I got an ending.
or that very first ending that you get within 5 minutes of finishing ZTD.
You imagine someone's like, alright, I beat the game. Just turns it off.
Yeah,
That was the
then
shortest
that's
game
it.
I've ever played.
It'd be funny.
God damn, that's crazy to me. Because there's some visual novels with a lot of endings, like a lot of like bad endings. Can you imagine like getting like a bad ending really early and be like, huh, guess that's it. Just turning it off, never putting it back on.
You know what though? You say that's probably how people played Shadow the Hedgehog when it came out.
Oh my god, fuck that
They
game.
probably thought whatever ending you ended up with is the canon ending.
And then there's like, no, there's actually a canon ending. Makes system pointless.
Yeah.
I have
See,
to wonder how
just do
people
what-
find out about
Just
that.
do what the whole like Natsu versus Type Moon thing does, where it's like every route is canon. There's just a bunch of alternate universes, and every route happens. It's like there you go, boom, problem solved. I don't know why Shadow the Hedgehog's just like, yeah, you know all those like 85 endings you got? They don't matter.
They're all just shadow.
They don't matter. This is the real ending. You just wasted your time. It's like fuck off.
He's like, waste his time 2010. Hashtag waste his time 2010. Was that 2010? When did Shadow the Hedgehog come out? That was not 2010.
That was not 2010. Are you kidding me?
And
That
I
was
was like,
before Sonic 06.
oh, that was 2004.
That was on GameCube.
Yeah, that's what I was remembering.
That was like 2000. What time warp are you on? Jesus Christ.
I'm on the ZT. I'm on the
Yeah,
Zero
remember that
Escape Time
GameCube
Warp.
game from 2010? You know, when the Wii was out?
When was the last GameCube
Well,
game?
I guess to be fair, they're still making Dreamcast games.
Wait, deadass? What?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Are those like official?
Not really, but yeah.
Exactly. See what I mean?
Wait, deadass? They making? Wait, hold up. When was the last?
Not
GameCube
real
game?
games. Not GameCube.
Not licensed games, but like games
No,
that
they're
work
not
on the
actual.
Dreamcast.
Yeah.
Apparently, people are still playing.
Because
a
people
couple
love the
multiplayer
Dreamcast,
games
man.
on Dreamcast Online.
Because people love the Dreamcast.
Yeah. Like
Wow.
apparently, there is this forum dedicated to hosting weekly matches in different Dreamcast games online. It's actually really fascinating.
Huh. That's really cool.
They're dedicated to that console.
So, wow.
Damn. Yeah, we were talking about hardest shit in games, right? Ray, what's the hardest like thing you've done in a game? Like a hard boss fight or section or whatever.
I think the hardest thing I've ever did in a game, you know, as generic as this will probably sound as an answer, will be the Subspace Emissary, when you get to the Great Maze part of it.
I hated
Because
that.
there's parts where you, because of the way the map is designed, there's literally sections of the game where you can't tell where you're supposed to go. It's like a bunch of squares and lines in different directions and such, and you have to look for the different pathways on your own. And then getting to Taboo, because I remember playing it with my cousin on multiplayer, and we could not beat this guy for a whole night, and he had to go home. So I decided to play
home, man.
So I decided to
Locks
play
the
it by
door.
myself the next day, and I fucking beat him on my second try. I'm like, wow. So it was only harder because it was multiplayer.
Yeah. I felt
But
the
yeah,
same way. That was a
um,
like, the story was great, but that was a crazy game. Like, I
Yeah.
like,
Even worse if you're intending to get all the trophies and then
Oh,
you try to
yeah.
play all the bosses.
even that, or
Three
if
of
you're
worse.
even when you're trying to get all the characters, trying to
Yeah.
find where those are was really difficult. And then when you got to those, if you missed that one
You
place,
can miss
you-
characters, yeah.
you can actually miss characters. And I mean, obviously you can just go back and play it again, but like that's a hassle on its own.
Yeah. I've caught several people on YouTube doing playthroughs, and I see them like missing certain characters, like, oh, this guy forgot to pick up Ike, because you see it in the
Yeah.
ending.
Yeah.
But another thing I remember, like a hard boss fight, is you know, one of the first games I played, the SpongeBob Revenge of the Flying Dutchman on GBA.
Yeah.
What? This was a hard game?
Well, see, the game itself was simple. It was cool, and but when you get to the final boss, I did not know how to beat this guy. Like, I could not do it as a kid. When I used to play baseball at like the Montefiore Center as a kid, I used to ask people on my team, hey, have you played this game? Do you know how to beat the boss? Someone said, like, poke him in the belly with the spatula.
Bruh.
And then he
It
made up some
worked?
bullshit. Well, I tried, but it didn't. But like, he made up some bullshit, like, I tried it too, and then afterwards it gives you the option, like,
Oh,
do you
was
want
this
to
one of
play
those my uncle
do
works
you
at
want to play
Nintendo
SpongeBob
stories?
too?
My uncle worked on this SpongeBob game.
Yeah, it was. Would you like to play SpongeBob too?
Oh my god, that is ridiculous.
Jeez.
It's some crazy playground rumor shit. But yeah, those are the only impossible boss things that come to mind at the moment. I probably have
Yeah.
more, but
Well, it doesn't
Yeah.
have to be a boss fight. It just has to be like anything.
Yeah.
The sixth gym leader in the Hoenn region in Emerald version, Winona. She was nearly impossible to beat. Like, I got lucky when I finally did.
Oh, I have a very similar one. The fourth gym leader in in Emerald, the flying type, who had a freaking Tropius. I had a Grovyle, right?
Oh,
So
I know who you're talking about. I forgot.
I forgot her name, but she had a Tropius, and oh my god, I spent days trying to beat that because I had my Grovyle, and I was just like, this is not happening. I am not going to die, or and it just kept on happening, and eventually I just had to like go all the way back and catch a Pokemon that was just going to like finish her off. But I was kind of stuck, and it was really bad, and I didn't want to go out and catch another Pokemon just so that I can face this gym leader. I eventually got it done. I just didn't like the way I had to do it. And then when I started playing Omega Ruby, I was like, nah, fuck you. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm going to level up my Sceptile so I don't have an excuse when I face off against you. And then I did it very easily, but that was something.
Isaac, are you still there? Isaac, you still there?
Rip.
Guess not. Well, I guess one thing.
I'm looking it up. I think you're also talking about Winona because it says here she.
Oh, is she the sixth one?
She's the sixth one.
You idiot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, see, both of us had the same problem with Winona.
Yeah, it's because we started with Sceptile, because if you have Blaziken, then the battle's a breeze, because Skarmory is like Steel type, and Tropius is Grass.
Or if you even like went out of your way to catch an electric type at some point in the beginning.
I honestly don't remember anything when it comes to like Pokemon, but when it comes to some of the hardest stuff I've done, at least recently, fucking some of those time relics and levels in Crash 1, like Lauren said, especially Stormy Ascent. That one,
God.
Stormy Ascent, getting the gold relic in that one is just, it's like my heart was racing the entire time because that level is long. It's one of the longest levels in Crash 1. It's the same reason why one of those like fortress levels in the jungle in Crash 1 was also really annoying for the time relic. Like legit, for the forest, there was one forest level in Crash 1 where the time for gold was literally like around 5 minutes. It's like, are you fucking kidding me? 5 minutes just to get gold? And yeah, it's because the level is that long. So can you imagine like dying towards the end? Which I did. I'm not even joking to you. I messed up the very last jump in that fucking time relic, one of those time relic runs in that level. I wanted to throw my controller against the wall.
Oh.
I was so mad. It's like 5 minutes. I got to the very end. It's like, there it is. And then I missed the jump. I'm just like, why? I eventually got it, but it's just like, fuck that level. Stormy Ascent was also just as bad because that level is the hardest level in Crash 1 by far.
Yeah.
And it's also pretty long. Like, you really have to practice and practice. I felt like my heart was about to burst by the time I got to the last platform and I got the gold relic time.
I'm
But
sure
I
we
did
had
it,
those moments,
and
yeah.
Yeah, those especially, because like when it comes to the hard stuff, there's hard, but there's like challenging hard, like hard, but like it's fair, like it's a hard fight, but it's super fair. You just have to like get good at it, like literally. I know that's a joke, it's like get good, but like nah. There are some like very challenging things out there that are completely and totally fair, and you just kind of have to get better. Like Kingdom Hearts 2, one of the best examples of that, at least to me, is the Lingering Will boss fight, which you can fight after you beat the game, and it's basically Terra's armor from Birth by Sleep. You have to fight him, and it's a really tough fight. I mean, it's to the point where it's kind of like a meme where it's like, wow, Goofy and Donald are worthless in this boss fight because they just die immediately. Like they get hit once and they're knocked down. It's like, all right, get some on my own. And yeah, like that fight is tough, but it's a fair fight. Like with practice, you'll notice his patterns. You'll realize what you should do when he starts up certain attacks. And with some practice and skill, you can beat him. And it's a really like well-designed fight. But then there's like hard, but like bullshit hard. Like fuck you for making it this way. This is like almost impossible unless you do it this certain way or like exploit it. And in the same series, fucking Birth by Sleep, the Mysterious Figure boss fight. That fight is the worst boss fight in that series.
I saw the video.
You saw it. I saw how bullshit
Yeah.
it is. It is that fight. Literally, no joke. There's one way to beat it. Only one way. You need to have Thunder Surges and Cures in your command deck. That's the only way to beat it. Because with Thunder Surge, you're invincible when you use it, basically. And you need Cures because every hit that boss fight does against you just brings you down to 1 HP. Oh yeah, by the way, like there's a lot of setup for some of these fights.
Yeah.
And like for the mysterious figure fight, you need to have certain like skills on your characters. So you need to have the skill that like if an attack or a combo hits you that would normally kill you, it'll instead leave you at 1 HP. And you need that skill because he one-hit KOs you if you don't have that skill, like just flat out. And he attacks really fucking fast. So you need that skill, and that's why you want cures on your character. You want 4 cures, and you want to keep jamming them because you're gonna be hearing that beep 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 alarm sound a lot, like that fucking sound when you have low HP. Even if you look up any video on that boss fight in Birth by Sleep, and you're gonna be hearing that throughout most of the video because yeah, every hit brings you down to 1 HP, and you need to keep curing to keep yourself alive.
Yeah.
And it's just bullshit because there's no strategy to it. It's just dodge, 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 Thunder Surge. Dodge, 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 Thunder Surge. You need to kind of get lucky and hope he doesn't use some of his more bullshit moves, and you just need to pray. That's the biggest part of it. Just pray. It's even worse with Terra, because the thing with Birth by Sleep is that you have to beat him 3 times with each character, and with Terra it's the worst because he has the worst dodge. It's awful. It was the hardest with Terra. Like with Ventus and Aqua, they get invincibility frames when they're dodging, but Terra just has this weird slide, and it's really not effective at all. So it's a struggle with Terra. That's why I uploaded the video of it when I beat him with Terra, because that felt like damn, that was just 1 in a million chance happening. Because the fight is just that badly designed. Like there's no strategy. There's one way to beat it, and that's it, with Thunder Surge. Oh, and to top it all off, he gets apparently. So like when I first tried to fight him with Terra, he kept spamming some of his more bullshit moves like constantly, and I'm like, what is going on? Like I just can't get close to beating him, and it's weird because I saw videos of people doing it just fine, and he wasn't spamming some of these moves. Because some of the moves he had was stuff like he would grab you and there's like a clock ticking down above your head and you need to mash a button to get out of it because if it hits 0 then you die. You just die. And when you're mashing it, like if you mash it and if you get out of it when it's at 2, the next time he uses it, it starts at 2. Like normally it would start at 5 or whatever. And there were times where I would fight him with Terra and he would just use it once, I get out of it. Use it again immediately, I get out of it. Use it a 3rd time immediately, and then I can't get out of it at that point because it's impossible to get out of it a 3rd time. So I'm like, what is going on? Like, there are times where I literally have no chance. And I look it up. Apparently, certain commands that you have in your movement command deck in that game fucks with his AI and makes him more aggressive and makes him spam some of his more bullshit moves. And I'm like, there's no way that's true. You cannot be serious.
Yeah.
They did not fuck up that badly with the boss fight to the point where if you have certain things equipped, it messes with its AI. But I tested it out and it worked. He stopped spamming some of those fucking moves, and I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. This is ridiculous. So literally, you can't even have certain things equipped, or else it'll just make it literally impossible. Like, fuck that fight. That fight was bullshit hard. Lingering Will, fun hard. That one was bullshit hard. I hated it.
Right. Huh.
God,
I am not looking forward to this.
Oh yeah, because you're playing the Kingdom Hearts games. Good luck.
I have to.
It's like, to round it all out, very like last small thing. What's the longest game it took, to complete for you guys? The game that took the longest to like really complete.
Definitely have to go with the Pokemon games. Those are a bitch to complete.
And I mean like fully complete.
Yeah. So my first game that I ever completed was Emerald, and I pretty much completely finished that one.
Besides the Battle Frontier?
Yeah, besides the Battle Frontier, because like no one really does that. So
Is
I
it
didn't.
actually
Yeah.
possible to finish the Battle Frontier in Emerald?
Kind of.
You could. It's
But
just
like,
really.
it's not
fucking
really.
hard and long.
I don't think it's actually
It's
considered
also
as
not
part
really
of
required to
your.
beat the game.
Yeah,
So.
and like capturing all the legendaries is pretty much that. So there's
Like
that.
you really don't get any reward for beating the Battle Frontier.
Yeah. That and Platinum. Platinum, I totally 100% in that.
That
And
as
that
well,
was
yeah.
fun. I mean, obviously, I played other like Pokemon games, but those I kind of didn't really like 100% most of them. Sun and Moon, when I played that, I actually pretty much 100% of that. Besides the battle tree, but then again, you don't really need that to 100% the game. So I dedicated 200 hours to that one. I did 300 hours for Emerald, and Platinum I dedicated around 250, 300 hours. Yeah, but I didn't
That's cool.
like, and I didn't. There weren't really any other games I don't think that really exceeded that. Like if you go through my play history, you'll see that Pokemon takes up most of the time that I spend on games.
Yeah, that's not surprising.
Yeah. But you know, Pokemon games are long. Like you can't. I don't know too many people who are capable of beating a Pokemon game within 24 to 48 hours. Besides Henry, who can beat like
Henry's
the
like a
first
fucking
Gen
Pokemon
1.
machine.
Yeah, he plays Gen 1 in what, like 3 hours?
Yeah.
Dude, like every other day, it was always a new playthrough of Gen 1.
Yes,
for
he
him.
he said he knows that game, Pokemon like Red, like the back of his hand, basically.
Yeah.
I feel like everyone has those games where it's like they're just a natural at it and they know it front and back, but like with him, he's like a machine.
Yeah. I dedicated about 100 hours to Breath of the Wild, so like, I mean,
That's that's a long one right
that's
there.
a long one. Wind Waker also I dedicated about maybe 150 hours to. I can't really think too much of like many games that.
Oh, Isaac is
You know.
typing.
Maybe like GTA 5 I spent a lot of time on. I spent a lot of time with GTA 5.
That's like I said, I've never 100%ed a single
yeah.
GTA game.
GTA
I love
4
GTA
also.
5, but yeah, I'm never 100%.
There are a few games that I like. They haven't. So this is, I think, the big thing about my list. None of them were irrationally hard. They've just been really long to complete.
Yeah.
And I guess in that case, it can be hard to complete because you lose momentum over time.
You
And
just
so
get drained, basically.
yeah.
You're just fatigued. It's
Right.
like, fuck.
yeah, and so I think I played GTA 5 on the 360.
Yeah, I did too.
That because I just kind of wanted to keep that because I had 4 on the 360, and I didn't have a PS4 yet. I still have yet to finish any PS4 game. I almost finished the Lego Movie video game. I just stopped playing it.
You've
after
never
a
finished a PS4 game? No, you finished Uncharted 1.
Yeah, but that disc on its own is 3 games. So I've only completed 1 out of the 3 games, which I guess it is 1 game, but let's be honest, it's 3 that I haven't like I've.
I
only
mean,
finished
nah,
one of the
nah.
3.
I'd count it as a game
Sure.
because it came out as one game on PS3. It's just that it's in a bundle now.
Yeah. And yeah, so I
You should have done what I did and just play it like over the break. It's like a marathon. That's what I did.
Yeah, but I mean, things that I've been like doing as of recently, I've been doing a lot of I've been watching a lot of Grey's Anatomy, so like that's been sucking up most of my playtime. But I also trying to finish Breath of the Wild since the second DLC pack is out, and it adds some more to the story. I want to get that out of the way, so I'll probably end up rounding up my Breath of the Wild time to 150 plus hours. But yeah.
I think in terms of me, like besides the Pokemon games, like as Lawrence brought up, I think the closest thing that I can think of right now in terms of a game I spent a lot of time investing in making sure I 100% is a Kirby Superstar Ultra on the DS, because that game has a lot of stories in it, and it's really cool because you get to play as Meta Knight, you get to play as I think DDD, I don't know, but it's cool. I spent like a lot of time with that game. It was like a journey. Had it for like 2 years in my personal collection whenever I go out. I think really the only reason why I spent a lot of time more than compared to the other games that you play in it is because of the Great Cave Offensive, which is literally a collectathon of like find all these hidden items in all these different locations. And some of these locations in that part of the game is like impossible to get to. Like they expect you to do super specific stuff. Like I remember there's this one where there's this strong wind current pushing Kirby back, and you have to use the jetpack power up to
Yeah.
go to this other side of the level, and it's almost impossible with the wind blowing in your face. But it was still really cool, and I thought that was a fantastic game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to mention Isaac has to go. He's in the chat, in
Yeah.
the text chat. So yeah, Isaac had to go, guys. Sorry, but you have us for like the last
For the
basically
people
10
that
minutes.
for the people who always ask for Isaac, he's leaving now, so don't
So
leave
you
the
could log off.
podcast. But if you really are just a big fan of Isaac, whatever.
But
yeah.
We should probably start wrapping up soon, though.
yeah, I mean, I was gonna just like put in
Yeah.
my
What was
2 cents
yours?
on like the longest stuff and then wrap it up there because that's all our topics. But I think for me, just I guess kind of to go in hand in hand with the like hardest shit we've done in a game. Birth by Sleep is definitely one of the more recent games that I've 100%ed. It that game, Birth by Sleep, it's not a hard game to 100%, but it's a time consuming one.
Yeah.
It's because the thing is like 100% Kingdom Hearts game honestly isn't that bad. Like 100% Kingdom Hearts 1 or 2 isn't that bad because like just at least with Kingdom Hearts 1 on PS4 you have to play the game twice because there's like 3 trophies that you could kind of only get in like a certain speedrun style. So you do one small speedrun for a second playthrough and then boom, you're done after your 100% critical mode playthrough. But for Kingdom Hearts 2, it's like, yeah, you only need one playthrough for that. Reaching of Memories was pretty fucking annoying because it requires 2 playthroughs, one because there's a Sora mode and a Riku mode.
Yeah.
And it's not that it's hard, but like in fact with Sora it's pretty easy because there's a very easy way to like grind to 99 with him. The annoying parts of 100%ing Rechain of Memories is that with Sora, getting all the cards is a fucking nightmare because certain cards, it's basically like a fucking gacha game basically. There are certain cards where it's so the chance to get it is so low, and you just have to keep hoping and praying. And what I'm talking about is the enemy cards, where the last enemy you kill in a fight has the chance to drop an enemy card, which you need to complete your card collection in that game. And the chances of getting an enemy card is so low. There were some that just took forever, and it's really annoying, especially with certain enemies that aren't that common. Like there's the pot spiders or the barrel spiders that are not very common. Like there's not that many in each world. So you just have to pray at that point that it drops it. Or like an enemy card from the mushroom enemies, like those are also like they're only in like specific rooms, and if you don't get them, try again, just keep grinding until you finally get it. And that was the annoying thing with Sora. With Riku, it's actually the opposite. Because like I said, with Sora, grinding to 99, super fucking easy. Because there's an exploit that you can just easily do. It's like a Mega Flare thing. But getting all the cards is a nightmare. But with Riku, it's literally the exact opposite. Getting all the cards with Riku is a joke. Like, you'll easily get it. There's no way in hell you're not going to have all the cards for Riku's mode. The problem is getting to 99 with Riku because there's no easy way to do it. You just have to keep fighting and fighting for hours. Literally, what I did is I fucking just had a podcast in the background as I played the game. I was like a robot at that point. Just
Was
keep
it
playing,
hours?
keep playing. It was like a few hours, yeah.
No. Was it
Just-
our podcast?
No.
Sure.
It was the off-topic podcast at Rooster Teeth, actually.
Okay.
But yeah, that was Ray Chain of Memories was kind of an annoying 100%. But what was more annoying, honestly, was the Birth by Sleep 100%. Because that game, you have 3 characters and you essentially have to 100% it 3 times. Like complete the journal, fight all the bosses with all 3 characters, and that gets really tiring and time consuming. You have to like get all the commands with every character. You have to do everything with all of them. And it took me in total, because it has a counter, like 82 hours to 100%
Oh wow.
birth by sleep in total. I don't know if you guys have heard of the completionist on YouTube.
yeah.
He did a video on birth by sleep. I don't know what the fuck he did because his final playtime was like 133 hours, and I was like, all right, you must have not started on critical then, because that's like impossible.
Yeah.
It's a long game, but it's not that long. I did not spend nearly that much. Like you could tell, 82 hours compared to 133. I don't know what happened with him. He must have not have started on critical like me, because I always start on the hardest difficulty in those games.
Yeah.
But yeah, that game was just tiring at some point where it's like, it's not even that satisfying too. Like, I remember when I got 100% with Terra, I was just like, yay. And then I just moved on, like, all bitterly to Ventus, because it's like, I gotta do all that again. It's like, it's literally the same thing.
I'm not looking forward to this at all.
I mean, you don't have to 100% it. I'm doing it because I'm a big fan of the series, and I want 100% every
But
Kingdom
isn't
Hearts
there
game.
different, more
before
to the story
3.
though?
Huh?
There's more to the story if you 100% it though.
I mean, there's stuff like, yeah, secret bosses,
But like.
but there isn't, like, more story, really, no.
Oh really?
Not really.
Oh, okay, man, I'm not 100%ing that shit.
I was about to say, good luck. You gotta be dedicated like me.
Look, there is a very distinct difference between me and Eric.
Alright, how about, you should, I would say, at least 100% Kingdom Hearts 2, maybe Kingdom Hearts 1. Because Kingdom Hearts 1 does require, like, a second, like, speedrun style playthrough, where you speedrun the game, don't hit continue, and don't change your equipment. And you do that, obviously, on the easiest difficulty. No way you're doing that on critical.
Rip.
Kingdom Hearts 2, though, I think you should at least go for that, for 100% in that, because that going for 100% in that game is actually really fun. Because it's not hard. I mean, there's challenging stuff, like I said, Lingering Will is pretty damn challenging. The data battles with, like, the organization members is also pretty challenging, but it's
Yeah.
like the type of challenge that's fair. And if you have trouble, just fucking look up a guide and see some
Right.
tips on YouTube.
Yeah, and I think that's just kind of one of the big things about, like, when we're playing game, you know, you should never have too much pride to not look it up in a guide. Yeah, that rhymes, it's really good. If you're really struggling, you know,
I like that you pat yourself on the back there.
But you know, if you're really struggling, you should just, you know, get some help, look it up, because Lord knows it's extremely, like, difficult. I remember, I mean, there were a few puzzles in VLR that in 999. Well, 999 mostly I did by myself. Same with VLR.
999 was easy. You were stubborn with VLR. You're like, no, I'm solving this on my own.
Yeah.
At 30 hours with one ending. And
Well,
I'm
there
like,
were a few
"Ugh."
towards the end that I was just really like, that I actually
There are some
just-
that I'm able to do by myself,
Yeah.
but there are other puzzles in that game where I'm just like, fuck that.
And most of them I like was muscle memory because I understood. I remember the very first puzzle in
ZTD was also
999.
pretty easy. The puzzles in that
because-
game are pretty
In 999, the game would require you to do the first puzzle all the
Over and over.
frickin' time. So it
Yeah, that
became
was one of
muscle
the, like,
memory, and I really
drawbacks.
wanted to know how long. Towards the end, I wanted to do, like, by the second time I did it, because at that point it was just racking up endings. I just really wanted to know what's my quickest time I can finish that game.
God, yeah.
And it
You're
was
so
like
right with
a
that
minute
first
or
puzzle room
two.
in 999.
Yeah.
Because you have to play that game essentially like 5 to 6 times. It depends on if you get the coffin ending first or
Yeah.
not, just in tandem with the true ending. And yeah, doing that, because there's no flowchart in 999 at least on the DS version. They have it in the PS4, Vita, and PC version. But on DS, you have to just start the game over again. And you have the option to skip already read text, like with any regular VN, just by holding right. But you can't skip the puzzle rooms. So you literally redo that first room like 6 times. And it really does just become muscle memory. It's like, all right, get the key here, go here, put the here, done. Like, you just do it super quick because you've gone through it 4 times already.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know, those are some of my longest games, and there's others. Like, I think Watch Dogs took some time too. It wasn't a hard one, but it was a lot to do in that game because, you know, with sandbox games like that, it's I like to call those kinds of games checklist games, where it's like, all right, well, what do I have to do on the map? All right, let me go there, let me do this side mission, let me do that, and just going all over, just doing all that shit. And I did it just because why not? I was bored. It wasn't the best game ever, but it wasn't the worst, so I just did it for the hell of it. And it didn't cost me much. I got it when it was on sale. Crash, you know, Some of those time relics, like I said, annoying as shit. But yeah, those are like the most recent ones that I can think of.
Yeah. So, I mean,
That are more long.
and I'm looking. You know, I love the Crash game, so I'm looking forward to finishing that back when I get back to New York, and bring my PS4 up with me to Dartmouth.
Yeah.
So.
But yeah, I think we're gonna call it a day here.
Yeah.
God, this was long. How long has it been?
Oh,
This
you
is
really
why
don't want
I
to
do
know.
not want to do podcasts
You
these
really
days
don't
before
want
work.
to know.
What is it? Just tell me.
3
It's
hours
12:27
and 23 minutes.
Fuck. All right, next podcast.
Yeah,
I just realized we're going more and more with each one.
Well,
Like,
you
what's
know,
the
I
next
don't
one gonna
have-
be? Like 5 hours?
You know, I don't have a problem
Dude,
with that,
imagine a
though.
24-hour
So I
podcast.
think next time we're just going to set the time earlier to 7 o'clock.
Yeah, sure.
So.
Let's do that. Let's start even earlier.
So for those that don't know, we started this podcast. Well, we gathered at around 8:30. We didn't start until 9, and it is 12:30 now. So.
Fuck. All right. Yeah,
Alright, guys.
it's time to call it. We went through all our topics, so it's time.
Yeah.
So yeah,
So it's good.
Isaac can't be here, but he said his goodbyes.
Yeah. On that note, thank you, Eric, for leading the podcast this week. That was a really
Yeah, I know. I
good-
know. I'm such a better host.
I mean, it was a really good. It was really good. It flowed very well. So, thank you for that. And
Yeah, I would definitely not mind hosting another one in the.
yeah, I mean,
You know.
here's to those that don't know, each of us has a 1/3 stake in this show. Me kind of just like a decimal or something more, just because I'm like the lead. This was. These guys were here when I had the idea, let's just do a shoot the shit podcast, and it just kind of happened. And so obviously this show would not happen without these guys, and so each of us has a 1/3 stake in this show. And so
Ray could host one in the future if he wanted to.
Precisely, yeah. And so whenever that time comes, whenever he wants to, that is up to him.
All right, so everyone just vote in the comments who you think is a better host.
Yeah.
Eric the King Estrella and Lawrence, aka Blue Skid, whatever the fuck your color is.
Yeah.
I thought you just called him Blue Squid.
So yeah, just let us know in the comments if you want to see Ray do maybe the next show, or you want to see me do the next one.
Dude,
or Eric.
I just realized we never did the anime
organize
body
it.
parts thing.
Oh my god, let's save that for next one. Actually,
Yeah,
on that
alright.
note, for the next podcast, look out.
We're
for
talking
our-
about anime kinks.
You're right. Look out for our review on Black Panther.
You mean Lawrence's review?
Well, whatever. And if these guys end up going seeing the Yu-Gi-Oh movie also, and we'll talk a little
I'm
bit
not.
about that.
Oh.
Well, there are a few things that we'll talk about, but Black Panther is going to be a big thing I want to tell you about. Also, before we go, a reminder that the Avengers movie is coming out on April 27th. So
A week early.
A whole week early.
Thanks, Robert Downey Jr.
So go ahead and
It killed
reserve your
Lawrence's
tickets.
theory.
Reserve your tickets now. On that note, ladies and gentlemen, just so that we are consistent, I'm gonna have Eric finish off the podcast.
Yeah, so it was good to be back hosting a podcast, even though I've never hosted one, but it was good to be back hosting one. Wrap your mind around that. But thank you for listening, and tune in next time when we talk about all kinds of stuff. Anime kinks, the greatest game ever made, masterpiece, Super Mario Bros. 2,
Masterpiece.
and more.
Yeah.
So, see ya.
See you guys next time.
Bye, everyone.
Royal do Lorenzo, and Eric, and Isaac, and Ray
Ray
signing
Google.
off. See you guys next time.
Bye.